Hey, everybody, and welcome to this little ditty we're calling Burning Obsidian here on the APROC Chromatic Unlimited channel. And we are doing all of kinds of stuff this month for Black History Month to raise funds for Black Girls Rock, an organization that is dedicated to empowering, celebrating Black girls and women through a number of programs, education, leadership, fostering self worth, pride, empowerment, and all of that lovely stuff. So these are all charity streams that we're doing throughout the month, looking to raise money for this organization. This is put together through four channels. It's us here at APROC Chromatic Unlimited, Obsidian Brews, House of Dreams, and Nerdgasm Noir Network are going to be hosting actual plays and panels all throughout Black History Month. We also want to throw a huge shout out and a massive thank you to Transplanar RPG, which is, if you don't know already, you should know, is an award winning all transgender, people of color led dark fantasy channel that is telling stories in an original non colonial and non anti Orientalist multiverse. So please send thank yous to them. A huge shout out to them. And donate if and when you can. If not, we just are so glad that you're here to watch and support us in this. As always, we stand in solidarity with oppressed peoples around the world who are fighting colonization and imperialism and white supremacy. And free Sudan, free the DRC, free Palestine. So we're going to dive right into this thing. We're running Cyberpunk Red, and I am going to be the GM behind this adventure. I am Stefan, or Umbral Knight X over on the Blue Skies. You'll find me, and I'm just going to go around and get some quick introductions of our players who are going to be playing. So if everybody here can tell us who you are, what your pronouns are, and who you're going to be playing tonight. So I'm going to start. Slay, I'm going to start with you.
Hi, I'm Slay. My pronouns are they, them. I am going to be playing Jamie McIntyre.
Awesome. Thank you much. Xtel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Xtel. Pronouns are he, him. I'll be playing Dominic Jackson, aka Dom. Also he, him.
Very nice. Pablo.
What's going on? It's Pablo. I will be playing Brooke Slickwell Willows, and my pronouns are he, him. Brooks are also he, him.
Great. Thank you much. Fall on my blade. Fall on blade. Who you got?
Hey, you know what it is? It's your boy Follow My Blade. You know me. I'm Nick Butler at Follow My Blade on Twitter or whatever. Follow My Blade. That the default Blue Sky link. Y'all can follow me there. I'm gonna be playing Darius Rivers, and his pronouns match mine as he him. Let's get it.
Very nice. And Paul.
Hey everybody, I'm Paul. I'm back, and I'm unapologetically black. I use
Bars.
he/him pronouns. What? Yeah, that's been my intro for a hot second now. If you've not seen me, um, uh, pronouns are he/him. I'm going to play playing Reggie Freeman. Also pronouns he/him, and yeah,
Awesome.
you can
Thank
find me on
you.
the internet if I want you to. I actually am in the process of transitioning off of Twitter, but yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah. As with so many other people, right? Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for participating in this. And thank you to everyone who's out there watching. So we're going to just dive right in. Uh, I just want to say real quick, give a quick message out there that all of the players here, we went over safety tools and safety sheets and things like that. So we know where our boundaries and limits are. But if we cover anything in this game that is going to touch on your boundaries and limits, please step away. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Just take care of yourselves in all that way you can. We did our due diligence, but obviously we can't do that with the whole audience. So we're counting on you to do that. We'd much rather see you take care of yourself than worry about that little number at the bottom of the screen. So I'm just going to dive right in and talk about what we're doing here tonight. So the players here are all members who grew up together in a community that used to long ago be known as Compton, just in the greater Los Angeles area. And in this context, what ended up happening over time is that, as has happened so many times throughout history, this particular area in what is now known as Neo Los Angeles was taken over by the powers that be, by powerful corporations, to start the creation of a landfill. And they were using that landfill to monitor and create a set of materials uh, that went by the name C-8, or SATE as it is known on the streets, which had the side effect of being a powerful explosive. And it was being manufactured there in what was once this area. And so eventually, the corporations found that large amounts of this valuable material was being stolen, and they kind of pulled out of the area. And as happens many times, opportunists came in and they built several low cost arcologies, housing projects, um, and for the workers that were now displaced. Um, and one of those is known as Comptown 3, one of several, a number of them. This was years ago, and now where we are in the current time frame, the corporations have again set their eye through a shadowy investment group known as the Frontier Investment Group. They want to revitalize this particular area and re-inject some economic value, in their words, into this area. And so they are trying to force out the current residents through various means of intimidation and other actions. Several of the arcologies in the area have caved in, and people have cleared out for their own safety, or under various threats. But our party here finds themselves back home in the neighborhood where they grew up in CT3. And they are here to, some of them never left, some of them went elsewhere, and they've all now gathered in the atrium of CT3, an area that has been used in a very long tradition for cookouts and other community gatherings. And now the residents of CT3, several of them have gathered along with everyone here to try and determine what their next steps are as they face being forced out of their homes by those who want to revitalize this particular area. So you all find yourselves in this large kind of open atrium, and scattered around there are various sort of makeshift uh, grills. Some of them are just the old school grill that's a 55-gallon drum that has a grate on top of it. Some of them are old, like Chew powered grills. Some of them are old, just a various amalgamation of grills. And there's a lot on the edges, there's a lot of food uh, being cooked of various types. The tables are filled with food as community members have brought what they can. And a large group of people have gathered to listen to Aunt Kay. And you all know Aunt Kay. She is the long standing matriarch of the neighborhood. And always at her side is her cyber dog, Rex, spelled as in to wreck something, not REX. Um, and she is speaking to a large group of people who have gathered to try and figure out. Rumors have begun to flood in that while the Frontier Investment Group has up until now largely used intimidation tactics and maybe some small bits of threats of violence to force other people out, and things like maybe burning down some empty stores and things like that, They have yet to have resorted to large scale direct violence, but the rumors are saying now that uh, only a few of the arcologies in the area are holding out, and that the Frontier Investments Group is now making moves for some direct violence, that they are gathering together a group of mercenaries to forcibly remove people from the area. So, if you all would like to describe uh, your characters, where they are kind of in this amalgamation, are you kind of up at the front? Are you kind of hanging back? And give us maybe a little bit of a description of your character. So I'll start with Slay again.
All right. So Mac is roughly 6 feet tall. Looks mostly like me, beard, long hair, tied back in a ponytail. The big difference between me and Mac is that Mac has a cybernetic right arm. That right now is turning into various tools because a bunch of people are just bringing up stuff for them to face because they're one of the local techs, and they're just like, yeah, okay, 1 sec. No, you just forgot to turn it on. It's an on switch. You got to turn it on. Like, here you go. And Max sort of towards the front because they want to hear and engage, but like a bunch of people are just kind of coming around them and like going, here, fix this. Can you fix this? Can you fix this? And like at least half of them just forgot to turn it on. And Max is like, come on, just turn it on. Turn on, turn off, turn on.
Nice. X. X, tell you want to give us a little description of who you are and kind of where you are in this scene.
Dom is standing in the back of the room, probably leaning up against the wall because he's a cool guy. At least he likes to think he is. And he's got his hands in his pocket. He stands about 5'10". He's got on a somewhat tight-ish shirt, in which he always has a chest holster for his two pistols, but that's covered up by his long overcoat. So it's a nice fade. And he's got like a scar kind of through this, listening, observing, and just seeing how everyone is reacting.
Okay, good. I'll go to Fall. Uh, give us a little description and kind of where they are in this mix.
All right, so Darius is about 7 feet tall. He has very little organic material left in his torso. Um, he had an accident that blew out most of his chest cavity, and somehow miraculously survived due to Unkay's help. And he's currently sitting in a chair, grilling something on the side of his boat. He's pulled up to the dock, and he's helping serve chicken, cornbread, and all that. He's wearing a black duster, no shirt on because he keeps his scars open for everybody to see. Matching black leather jeans and brown combat boots. He's got long dreads, and he wears like the Mike Portsmouth style glasses.
Okay, nice. Pablo, what do you got for us?
All right, so Slick Will's about 5'11", 6 feet, give or take. Since he's a nomad, he wears his his pack leathers as far as the jacket is concerned. So he's kind of got like that. I wouldn't really call it like a racer jacket, but kind of like that. Like it's like he's got his family patches and of course like some of their other affiliation with the Aldacados and whatnot on the side. Other than that, just typical pants you get like ride in, boots, real simple. He looks roughly similar to me. Fair skin, long hair, his is in braids. And as far as the cybernetics are concerned, they're kind of subtle. You can just kind of see like the lines, I guess, like the tracing and whatnot. Just certain features just kind of have like that extra little. I wouldn't know what to call it, but like the little cybernetic line and whatnot. Um, and yeah, that's about it. Like it's very subtle. He's off to the side, like in the front, but very much like off to the side. Like it gives the impression that he was one of the first people there. Like almost like he helped set up. Like he almost like he came in with K, but he's just off far enough to the side to not be noticed by most people, but right in the front.
All right, all right. Paul.
Reggie is probably about 5'11". He's 5'11", a little bit darker skin than I am. Hair's cropped pretty short, goatee. Um, you can tell he's got some light scarring that looks like it's mostly been repaired on his face. Clearly something happened. It was not there before he moved back into town about 18 months ago. He is being social in kind of the food area. He's not like full blown on like trying to be the center of attention, but he's like, yeah, do this or do that. When he left to go be like a part of a trauma team as a med tech. So since he's moved back in, he's kind of taken on that like outside of like the classic healer, but also like people who might need more medical expertise because he's fairly good at medicine. So I'm assuming similar to Mac, where people are asking about turn this on, people are like, well, I have the sniffles. I'm like, just do this. Or I have this, just do that. Like, yes, soak in it'll be just fine. Like that type of space. And he's probably just trying to blend in and do his best to be back, for lack of any better term. But he's mostly, he's mostly trying to be back, be in the moment, and be here for live. You know, the people like that show up to meetings but don't really show up. He's trying to be at the meeting right now.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So Aunt Kay, you all know from growing up here that at this point everyone pretty much figures she's probably in her 80s or 90s. Um and she gets around largely because both of her legs are cybered. And so she's got a lot more mobility. And she also, even though you know she's that age, she doesn't quite look that age. But she's got very dark brown skin. Her hair has gone all white, but it's pulled back into a large, kind of very fluffy, kind of curly bun. But it has various colors just kind of streaked through it that she's added on her own. And as she speaks, she's mostly just kind of settling the worries, and in a very calm and matronly voice she's just kind of giving that kind of stoop stoop in the hood grandmother kind of just like very calm kind of talk, and telling everyone a couple of people get a little bit heated, and she says, she just kind of gives them a now look child, and kind of puts them in their place and tells everyone to calm down. And eventually people just kind of start to filter in after she calms them down, and she kind of looks around the room at the five of you and kind of gestures you all off to the side, and kind of gestures for you to follow her to an area where there are a few picnic tables that are kind of set off from where everyone else is. Um, and so she kind of moves over there with Rex and takes a seat at one of the picnic tables, and gestures for you all to join her. As you move over, assuming you're all moving over there, um, she she says, "I've gotten some information about these mercenaries. And you all are well aware that Mom Aunt Kay is a veteran of the South American War quite some time ago. She has contacts all throughout the city and area, and she is just one of those ones whose information is usually very up to date and very reliable, and you're all pretty well aware of that. And so she says, I've gotten it on good information where they are staging this uh this group, where they are gathering together before they start rolling in here. Um, Now, what we don't know is there's us and there's four other of the CTs that are three others of the CTs that are still resisting. And we don't know where they're going to start, but it looks like they're gearing up for something pretty hot and heavy to start forcing people out. I'm hoping that I can count on you to do something.
You already know what it is. It's Compton versus everybody, Hunty.
Yes, so it is.
I mean, I know how to
Um,
blow things up. I'll just, yeah.
well, I leave to you the method that you want to choose in order to keep them from coming up in here.
Mhm.
And if we can figure out a plan to slow them down, bog them down, find some sort of leverage against them, then that would be excellent.
Mind if I ask a few questions? You said you know where
Please.
they're staging. Do you know who they are? Different mercenary groups operate different ways, so knowing who we're actually dealing with is going to go a long way.
Yes. Um, what I can tell you is, and from the information that I've gathered, they are using a mercenary group that goes by the name Gray Horizon.
Okay.
Now, my contacts tell me that the Frontier Investments Group is actually just a front for multiple corporations. How many, we're not sure, and which corporations, we're not sure yet, who have put their money behind this effort. And then through that sort of face corporation, the Frontier Investment Group, they've hired Gray Horizon to do their dirty work.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
Captain,
Gray
that
Horizon.
naming convention seems a little familiar. Clearly, there's got to be a connection between the two.
Yeah.
Yes. And so just to let everyone out who's watching and to remind the players as well, um, I'm pretty free and open. So if you want to gather more information, I am open to you saying, I want to use this skill in order to gain that information. Um, I usually kind of let players drive the roles, and also just to let everyone watching, even though we're using the Cyberpunk Red system, we're going to be going a little bit loose and hand waving some of the things since this is just a two shot, just to keep things moving. So we might not be following the strict rules all the time. just so we don't get bogged down in rules as we're going through this. So, uh, if anyone would
What? We're
like to
not going to
gain
run
information,
wall all the time? Shake my fist in defiance, rar.
yeah. So if anyone would like to get any more information on these organizations, see what you might know, if you want to tell me how you want to go about that and what skills you might want to use to do that, you are free to do so.
So I have an idea. I'm not sure if you'll go for it, but let's see. So I'm a tech.
Yeah,
Text, and everyone needs text to keep their stuff running. Text
yeah.
talk to text. So could I use like something like basic tech to be like, hey, talk to some of my tech friends like who work for like organization like companies and stuff.
Yes, I will. I will absolutely go for that. Give me a roll and tell me what you get.
All right. Okay, that's a 7 on a die plus. Let's see here. Holy shit, 16. Plus 16. So
Excellent.
that's a 17, 23.
Yeah, really good. So you get and assuming you're just using electronic devices, as of course everyone would at this time, you are able to put out some feelers fairly quickly, and the information you get back is that you don't get a lot of information about who's behind this, but what you do get is that you do get some information about the equipment that they've gathered. And what they have gathered is some pretty heavy stuff. They've got a couple of six-wheel assault vehicles that they've put together, armored assault vehicles. They've got some heavy weapons, some both and a large number of explosives, and then they have a couple of combat drones, a couple of ground-based combat drones, and then several smaller aerial combat drones. Some pretty sophisticated and expensive stuff that they've gathered to basically take on a neighborhood. Even if that neighborhood is the former Compton.
Yeah, so
Um,
I'm just like listing out all the equipment. I'm like, so my friends are saying they got this. This is a lot of shit, guys. Like, yeesh, a lot of shit, y'all. They got ridiculous amount of stuff. They got freaking cars that can make slick wheels look like a toy car. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
This is
Say, young
ridiculous.
bud, you wouldn't happen to know the manufacturers of some of the equipment, would you?
Would I?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of it, a lot of the equipment is Militech.
This is
Militech.
all. This is a lot of Militech. A lot of Militech.
Through who though? They have, if I recall, Militech has subcontractors that deals with stuff locally. If we could figure out who's doing it, then we could backtrack and look at who might be supplying them, and through that, we can deduce who might be behind them.
Hmm, hmm.
I'd
Does my
like to roll
information for
deduction to
that?
figure that out.
Sure. Give me a roll.
20.
Nice. So you uh are able to put together, but with the equipment that you heard listed, and the two of you are kind of able to put your heads together based on the rolls you both made, that some of the equipment on that list is pretty generic stuff, stuff that Militech and its various subsidiaries wouldn't have any problems selling to anyone. The two ground-based drones, however, are pretty sophisticated and fairly new, and you're pretty sure based on the information that you have, that that's not the kind of equipment that uh, Militech is going to let even just one of its subsidiaries have. That's coming straight from Militech. And it is equipment that probably has a drone pilot and handler directly from Militech.
I'll just say, yeah, you look at these drones. These drones are they're not going to give these drones up to anyone. Militech's using these drones. Like you got actual people behind these drones. If I could get my hands on those drones, what I could do with those.
Hmm. Well, that's brand new stuff
Yep.
made in short order. I'm thinking maybe that they possibly got somebody either local or someone who's flown in recently to run this thing.
Let's see. And I will try to use. I will try to talk to some. I'll try to get in contact with some of my people and see if they know anything about anyone receiving some out of the ordinary Militech tech and whatnot.
Yeah. Give me what skill are you thinking about using there?
I'm thinking. Let's go with persuasion.
Okay. Give me a roll.
So I got a. Uh, So I got a 1 on one of these. Was it that does something again, right?
If you
Or is
roll a
that
Goes
one,
the other way. You roll it again, and then take that number and subtract it from what you rolled.
yeah, so you're just going to roll 1d10, right? And if
I
you
clicked on the thing. I
Oh,
clicked on
okay. Oh, you
the
click the thing.
die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you got a 1, then you're going to roll another d10 and subtract it from whatever your skill is.
It may have auto done that if you're seeing more than one dice on that thing
Okay.
already.
If you're seeing more than one dice, then ignore it and just take the first one.
It might have automatically re-rolled your 1 for you.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what it did. It auto, if you did it on the app, it auto
Oh,
re-rolled
so
the 1.
the other die is
Going to
got
subtract
it.
from
Okay.
your skill.
Cool beans. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big old 0.
Yeah.
I got a 9 on the original thing, and then it rolled a 9. So if I take
that is a
9
0.
away from my 9, yeah, it's a good time.
So you send out
it's okay.
You send out feelers, but you just get that you just get the kind of the modern equivalent of the 3 little dots when somebody's like typing but you're not actually getting a response. Yeah, you don't get any reply back. It seems like everybody that you tried to contact is busy.
Let me see who I might know, because we've had our share of run-ins with Militech. They
Yeah.
aren't particularly fond of us running into their caravans. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What skill do you want to try and use here?
Well, seeing as how Wells or Brooke rather is a smuggler, I'm going to actually use some of my business skill.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now I got a 2 of this. Wait, yeah, hold up. I got okay. The app is saying a D10 plus 7.
Yep.
So I just roll 1 or what?
Yeah, so you're just going to roll the D10 and add 7 to it. Yep.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right.
I will be quiet, Stefan. I would keep saying.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Go for it. Dive in, man.
Okay.
That was I guess 15 total.
15? Yeah. So through the smugglers network, when you send out feelers, you actually will get a response from one of the people that you've run with. And you will get a reply back that will basically say that about maybe 4 days ago, this staging area, and the staging area you would all find out is probably about 10 miles away from where you all are. That this staging area basically a um a large specialized truck was brought to that area, and that the truck that was brought there was rigged for cryonics, and that the rumors say that they brought someone in who they basically had in a cryonic chamber to this staging area at the same time as these drones arrived.
That's a bit frightening. Okay. Um. So yeah, just in the effort of not repeating too much. So I talked to my folks, and whoever they brought in is a serious heavy. I'm talking. Uh, Dude was on ice. Whoever this was, they had to keep him on ice before they brought him in. So is that ringing any bells to anyone in here? Because it's not ringing any to me, but I'm definitely getting all sorts of red flags right now.
Man, all I
Sure.
know is that back in my day, you used to put a brother on ice. You had to pull out one of these. You know what I'm saying? These cryonics is wild.
So I kind of perk up when you say that. I'm clearly been lost in what I've been doing.
Yeah.
One, I've kind of been. It looks like Reggie sat down and took out like a napkin and has started doing some napkin math. Um, I can go ahead and. Do you want me to go ahead and roll medtech on cryonic on the reasons you would ship somebody in that way?
Yes, please do. Please
All
do.
right, I will roll medtech on that. So, oh, 32.
Oh, yeah.
I have a base 14 and my 10 exploded into that. So 32.
Nice.
Um
So you
mhm.
definitely perk up, because based on that roll, you have heard for a while now rumors about a very hush hush program within Militech.
Mhm.
And this program supposedly um has people who are heavily cybered, and
Yeah.
that uh Militech has basically found a way, according to the rumors, to forestall people succumbing to cyberpsychosis by keeping them basically in cryonic suspension.
I mean, it's the next logical step for using high expensive soldiers if they can't go cyber psycho if they're not active.
Right.
So
Right. Yep.
it's I mean it's that's pretty. I don't want to say common knowledge amongst the medical community, but that's a common theory at this point in
Right.
time.
Yes.
So they probably have somebody who's almost full Borg, which is an expectation.
Yes.
But uh, what Reggie's been doing is he turns to Auntie and goes, "You said there are other people willing to hold out." On the tactical side of thing, do they have to go through our group to get to everybody else? Are we kind of like the first stop or the last stop on what would be this street fight? Is the question.
So what you have is you have a uh the area where you are, the
Mm-hmm.
large area where all of these arcologies are, is like a mega block, right? And
Mm-hmm.
each of the individual arcologies, the ones that are the holdouts, are in the center of this area. The ones who caved first were the ones on the outer edges. So they have to come through
Mm-hmm.
those kind of now abandoned outer edge ones, and the ones that are holdout are basically in the kind of central area, with a couple of, there were a couple of other central area ones that were abandoned as well. But the ones that are holding out are fairly adjacent to where you are. Um,
Mm-hmm.
And so, depending on how they come through, if they come through the main gate, yours would be the second kind of on the if they came straight through.
I turn to Auntie and I go, we are in a position. And I look around the room and I kind of like snap back to what I've clearly been doing the napkin math on. So it sounds like they have a big old force and we have a choice of tactics here. Like we can try to meet them head on, or, and that's going to be a pain with that. Like, in all honesty, we should try to funnel them down a thoroughfare and make a, okay, never mind. Sorry. Let me start this over. Let me try this again. We have two choices. We can fight them head on, jump them at their camp, fight their soldiers, or we can find out who's running the show and put a gun to their head and make them stop. Because at the end of the day, those mercenaries and the Militech suppliers they're using, if we wipe them all out, they're just going to hire another round of people and use them as testers for this tech. Mm-hmm. You need to find whoever's in charge of this private equity firm and put a gun to that dude's head, because if that doesn't stop, they're going to keep coming.
I will also say, too, that based on that medtech roll you made, since it was so high, I will also say that the rumors on the street say that this program that Militech has, that the rumors say that there's something about it, something, and you've heard a billion different rumors, right? Everybody has a story about what they think it is, but that there's something about their program in particular that every competitor of Militech's wants, beyond just kind of the standard like corporate espionage, that there's some extra ingredient in the sauce of their program that is highly sought after by everyone else.
That gives us some leverage to help. But like at the end of the day, we need to pick whether we're going to fight basically a retreating action until we deal with this, or set up to stall until we find out who's pulling the strings and make them stop. Now,
on the side of fighting out who's pulling the strings, can I? Because money's got to go. Mercenaries got money. Mercenaries won't fight without being paid, and someone's got to authorize the payment. Someone's got to authorize that and that and that. So can I use my accounting skill to see if I can like find where the money's going?
All I know is that Mac, before you even make that roll, I'm breaking the fourth wall right here, but gang, why you put raisins in a potato salad, dog?
Oh, you didn't brought that?
Like, we had a whole talk about this last week. I said, if I invite you to this barbecue, you was not going to do that.
But did you invite him, or did Auntie invite him? Because if Auntie invited him and he wanted to put raisins in the potato salad, then you didn't invite him. I'm just saying.
I put the radio show out. Y'all not listen to the podcast? I said Auntie K is going to be bringing out everybody so we could talk about this. You know what I mean? And then like, all you gotta do is make sure you bring some good food. You know who's gonna be there, so don't put no raisins in the potato salad. Make sure you at least bring some chicken or something. You know what I mean? And your boy likes hot sauce, so you know as long as you don't bring the Texas Pete,
here's the hot sauce.
Like at least some Cholula. You know what I'm saying?
He did bring the Chipotle Cholula. He did bring the. They did bring the Chipotle Cholula. They did bring the Chipotle Cholula.
They brought the Chipotle Cholula. Okay, so I mean,
yes.
You get a pass this time, Mac.
Okay. Raisins and potato salad doesn't seem weird to me, but okay.
Just leave the raisins out of anything that you bring. That's how you.
I like raisins.
You know.
Raisins are good for you.
You gotta read the
room, homie. Crimes at the cookout.
Cookout crimes.
See,
this is exactly what we're trying to stop with the gentrification, because like if we have these people from the whatever horizons or whatever come in through here, all of our cookouts are going to have raisins in everything. And honestly, like
I just put raisins in my portion.
That is a crime against humanity.
Raisins are good for you.
I am way too old to be putting raisins in my potatoes. Like,
while they're doing that, I will actually go to the Mercenaries website because usually they advertise what they're good at, aka because private military contractors are their own industry in Cyberpunk. They're going to have a page on the web, and it's going to be like, we specialize in X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
Um,
their number one thing is strike breaking.
okay.
Oh, great.
So that does mean they will start with non-lethal and move to lethality most of the time,
Yes.
I would assume.
Yes,
That
Does this
is
mean
that is their definite pattern in
okay.
in the past. Yes.
Reggie, does this mean I start with the grenades or I hold back on the grenades?
honestly, throw the raisins at them. That maybe make them go home.
You're never gonna let the raisins go, are you? Come on.
These
He's not
shits
gonna
is
let that
nasty,
happen.
gang.
Okay.
Honestly,
So-
Mac, I wouldn't be surprised if the raisins make the next broadcast. I'm just saying.
You know, if you would just get some taste for once in your life. Yes, I said it. What are you gonna do about
Okay.
it?
We're gonna
He didn't need a big dog.
All I'm saying is you need to be respecting your elders, young.
Yes, sir.
Don't talk to me about the
This
deep
table is
culinary
very nasty.
magics.
Let's talk
I was
about-
there when that shit was written. Know what I'm saying?
All right, you know what?
Yo, Auntie, tell him about me, how I get down in the
Oh,
kitchen.
Auntie Kay looks at
Is
you
that a
all and
reference to something?
She shakes her head a little bit.
I get down with the sickness. Anyway, I'm just going to you know what? I'm going to do something useful without putting raisins in my potato salad, and I'm just going to try to follow the money and see if we can actually solve something. Because apparently Darius is just focused on my potato salad, which I think is delicious.
Give me an accounting roll, and as you're doing that, Auntie Kay says, she says, so we've got some funds that we can throw at this thing. You all knew that when the plant was here previously, that a lot of the people that are here now, a lot of the older people worked in the plant. And the reason the plant was eventually shut down was that large portions of sate were disappearing each month. This explosive that was being manufactured here. Auntie Kay will let you in now and say, as I'm sure you all were able to easily surmise, that obviously the people that were working there were kind of taking some of the material. And over the years, much of it was sold. And so she tells you, we've got a stash of money that we can throw at this thing if we need to. We've also still got some of the sate stashed, which is a really potent explosive. So that is available.
How much money? Because I don't know if we can outspend corporations.
Well,
Auntie keeps selling these ribs that she's been putting on this table though. We could probably outsell them. These shits is slapping.
she's
Yo,
like, well,
Captain, you still got it. Like, honestly.
not enough to outspend them in the long term.
Yeah.
But in the
meat
short
supplies
term,
is kind of low out here, so I guess I get it. Like,
Yeah.
financially speaking, I don't think we could really supply that much ribs, but if we could.
we could. So in the short
I
term,
don't
we
think
could,
we're going
we
to be able
could
to.
spend a lot.
So
I don't think
I
we'll
actually
be
look
able
at
to
Andy in a
out-tech
leadership role at
these
this point in
guys.
time and go, the question is do we want to make a delaying action until we find the head of the snake and make it stop? Or are we just looking to gutter it out and fight these guys and hope they don't come around for round 2 and 3? Because I've lived in that world and they gonna be back for round 2 and 3.
Yeah. From
Round 4 and round 5.
From
I
where
had
I'm
me a
sitting-
nice little John last week. She had me back for round 2 or 3 too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your aunt can be getting it in sometimes. Like, hey,
Focus, please.
these ribs got me acting up. I ain't gonna hold you.
and this is why I'm always gone. Anyway,
Hopefully you can stick around for this.
Actually, we know why you're always gone, but
Honestly,
we're not gonna get
I
there.
think hiring some of that funds to a good net runner to find out who the head of the table is on this.
I know
And
a good bet runner.
We could do that.
That might be worth some of those funds, and
So,
then start setting it up so we can bottleneck them in IEDs and make it a delaying action until some of us can go out, find out who's at the head of the table on this, and make them stop because
I
it's
rolled a
just going to be
22
round
on my
2 and then
account
round
roll,
3
by the
and then
way.
round 4. That's
Yeah.
my thought. If everybody, it's your call, Auntie, but that's my thought on it.
I agree with Reggie.
I would say that we need to make this particular neighborhood a little less interesting to them, because militaries and corporal slugs are the same. They just keep coming. So if we shoot this one dude, they're gonna replace him with another snake.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: if they have a dude at the top, and it's not profitable because the last time the dude at the top, somebody got to him, got to his home, drained his bank accounts, and liquidated a bunch of his stuff, they're way less apt to do it again because it's all
Yeah.
cost benefit ratios. And as somebody who has picked up more than one corpo after a good corpo raid, it tends to slow them down a lot. They take years to rethink about how profitable it may be. I'm not saying 20 years from now we might not be having this conversation again, but if we
There's won't be
find
having this
whoever's
conversation
calling
again,
the
then.
shots, and we don't necessarily have to kill them, we just have to make it real clear it's not profitable no more. Like, you drain their bank accounts, you set them up to look bad, and his own corpo friends will eat him and think again before coming here. They eat their own. They're real good at eating their own.
Yeah.
It's at this moment
You
Brooks
think they
gonna kind
serve
of
them
like
with
jump
raisins?
in. He's gonna kind of jump in here, Auntie, and I guess for whoever else did the search on how much personnel and supply they've dropped in. Does it look like they've been getting multiple shipments, or is everything already here? Because if it's already here and whatnot, there may be an opportunity to kind of figure out exactly where those shipments were coming from and just kind of blockade that. Like I
So
might be able to make some phone calls. I don't really talk to my folks at the moment, but I think they'd be up for some good old fashioned corporal rustling. So let me
so
know.
what what uh what you would get in response to that, and to go to Slay's accounting role, is between that role and what Auntie K knows. One, it looks like pretty much the majority of their equipment is already on site. Two, that accounting role, it looks like they've got everything walled up pretty good, and you're going to need a net runner to be able to figure out maybe who's behind this. But what information you do get from that role is that they have, as was so poignantly pointed out by your med tech, that they have, like so many other operations like this, they have a budget cap, and uh, after which this operation will no longer be profitable. And what you're able to find out is that they are only about 2 million from that budget cap. Now that seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's really not if certain things are removed from play, and uh, they are. You're also able to find out that they are allowed a small overrun, but not that much, so that if you are able to uh, call in enough and do enough damage, that you can very quickly put them at that cap and make this no longer profitable for those who are behind it.
I suppose
Right.
training
So
cost would be a good way to dent their profits in them. And you know the best way to make them spend training money? Put in a hole in a few motherfuckers.
Can't go wrong with that.
So
Training
here's the
doesn't
Also,
issue.
cost that much.
Auntie K,
I'm not. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Auntie K also says, well, that's one way, but they've also got some very expensive equipment over there.
Yeah, we kill them, we
It,
take their equipment, we give it to the people, arm the people, and then Compton can do what Compton does.
I hear you, and I understand that. The question is, I looked at Auntie. How many viable fighters with legitimate tactical experience do we have? How many people do you have surveying this place that can keep us
Maybe
up to date? And how quickly can we bottleneck them? Because they're gonna bring more guns. They're gonna start off with hoses and trying to move us, but the moment you body one of these guys, they are going to respond with lethal force. If you stall them out and damage their equipment, but don't put a round in anybody until you're ready to make your move, they will grind through their equipment because the mercenaries want to live. The people paying them, it is cheaper for them to replace the body than it is to replace the gear. I know from firsthand experience. And if we can make that last longer and more wear and tear on their gear, we're going to hit their budget. If you start putting holes in people, they will go from hoses to rockets real fast because their goal is to flatten this landscape. And the moment they are allowed to go that hot, we don't have the personnel and people to put up a fight that is not going to end up with more of our people on the ground than theirs. This is not a
just kind of points and nods.
this is not a race to hurt the people they've hired. This is a stalling action on the people they've hired so we can get to the person who can transfer funds. Because the moment that dude has a gun to his head, he's going to choose to give up money rather than his life. And the moment that his bank account is in the the moment his bank account is in the red, and the moment this doesn't look profitable, the people that are above him are going to pull the plug.
I mean, on the
And it's gonna
equipment
be
side,
less-
you get me. Sorry.
Go
On
ahead.
the equipment,
Go ahead, Matt.
equipment side, you get me there. I can take that stuff apart. I can do what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, you give me one of those. You give me in that truck. That truck's not moving. You give me with one of those drones. I can just take them apart.
So the question is, Auntie, how many fighters and people do we have to knock over things and make it so we know where they're going to come from? We can funnel them in one or two directions, which is the advantage we have. We know the territory and we can create terrain that they cannot use. 1, 2, we need to at this point in time, if you have a net runner, call your net runner friend because we're about to have to pay them out. That's the way I feel about this. We need a net runner and we need to get them where they need to go. That probably needs to be our first mode of operandi, is get this net runner to whatever node they need to get the information to where that is, even if it's in their base camp, which is doable but not going to be fun. Hopefully there's a node somewhere we can hit that's not their base camp.
Yeah, you would have a pretty good inkling, and Auntie K would say, we've got in the neighborhood, we've got about 3 or 4 who are ex special forces, maybe another 25 who have other military experience. Um, uh, their their forces at the staging area currently probably number about 200.
Yeah.
You also, I was going to say, you also all know that Silicon Jack lives in the neighborhood here and is kind of the resident net runner, and he's actually over on the other end of the barbecue with a plate of ribs. You see a man probably in his mid to late 40s, obviously his features, and you all know that Silicon Jack, he's Afro Afro Latino, and he's got uh kind of just a large kind of fro perched on his head, and uh, kind of light brown complexion, and perched on top of that large fro is a big kind of really beat up uh, cowboy hat. Um, and he's just kind of sitting off on the far end of the atrium with a plate of ribs.
Yeah, I know that corny ass pendejo anywhere, chewing with his mouth open and shit. Oh boy, ain't got no damn manners. But he is good at what he does.
One of you needs to talk to him. Silicone doesn't like to talk to me for some reason. I don't know why.
He don't like to talk to me either, but he gonna do it.
Sure. Go for it.
Jack, what are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm eating ribs. What do you think?
I'm just slapped though, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. He
all
kind
right.
of he kind of gets up and starts heading in your direction, still with the plate of ribs, the plate in one hand and a rib in the other, and he's just kind of gnawing on the rib as he moves over.
All right, so I do the same thing and just kind of stare down at him while I'm eating it, like JoJo style.
So
Like,
what?
hey, so we got a problem here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Auntie K is working on a thing. She's got us all together, and we need your skills. We got a lot of private military contractor types trying to like muscle in on the neighborhood, and we need you to help us with cutting off their supply lines, all that shit. You know how it is.
Okay. He's all for you, but for Auntie K, no problem. I got it.
Good. All right. So,
I look at him like, we need the paper trail. We need to know who is the exact calling the shots.
He's all. He kind of stops, looks at you, kind of closes his eyes for a second, and he's all, yep. He's all, they got some pretty sophisticated ice, but give me a couple hours and I'll be able to crack it.
Do you need us to take you to a node, or can you do it from here?
I can find out who's I can follow the trail and find out at least the information of who we're dealing with. And then
Oh, I'll
if
give
you
him a
need
quick rundown of like this mercenary company. They're being backed by Militech in this way. They're doing like I'll give him all the base stuff we already have, so he can skip all that part.
okay, he's all well, he's all I can find out who's behind the money. He's all but yeah, for that we'll probably need to get to a node.
Yeah, let us know when you're ready to make that move because that might be the next thing. It
So let me just
sounds like we're
gather up.
about to be node. Sounds like we're about to be node scouting, folks. So might want to run by a home, pick up what you got to pick up because it looks like we're about to move.
So let me go gather
I
some gear and I'll meet you back here in about 10 minutes.
would I have one on my
sounds good.
boat?
I can bring the truck. I mean, the barbecue's over, so I don't think you guys need the grill anymore. Just give me and Max some time to offload all the cooking stuff, and we have a mobile
We want to
setup for
say
you.
I'm gonna look at everybody and like look down at my synth watch and try to set everything up. Be like, do we want to give 30 minutes till the ETA to get everything set up for everyone? Does that sound good? All right.
Synchronizing.
Yep.
He kind of moves off, and you see him move off with a younger woman, who you all recognize. She goes by the street handle Alley Cat, and she's also Afro Latina, and she's Silicon Jack's cousin, and sometimes works as a bodyguard for him, and has worked with some of you based on backstories and conversations we've had. Uh, she kind of follows along with him as he goes to grab some gear.
I will look to Auntie K and be like, do you want to? I assume you're going to organize the vets and whoever else is combat capable and start closing down, shutting down, and making choke points because we're hoping to get this done ASAP. But keep in mind, might not be a situation where it gets done in the next 48, 72 hours. We might be fighting a holding action.
She's all, yeah, they're out right now
Okay.
planting some explosives in some key places that should slow them down, make some rougher terrain for them to traverse with their fancy vehicles.
All right.
And Auntie K, my shop is pretty fortified. If like families need to be in there, or if, like kids who shouldn't be getting involved in this need to be in there. Most of the kids know the password, so they just go in. Just put your PPE on if you're going into the shop and all that stuff.
We'll yeah, we'll get the ones that need to be in there. You just let me know if you need anything else. Uh, I'll see what I can put together for you. She's all good luck, and I'll leave you to it. You know how to reach me if you need
Will
anything.
do.
I'm gonna go see what the troops are doing and see what sort of other help we might be able to rally if things go sideways.
Aye, aye, Captain. Good seeing you again.
So she
I'm
heads
gonna
off.
I'm gonna message Auntie K like privately and just
Mm.
ask, hey, you need any last minute updates to your cyber or Rex's cyber? Just let me know.
She kind of sends you back a thumbs up, a digital thumbs up.
Because I know Auntie K doesn't really like talking about it out loud. So
Yep. Yeah. So she moves off, and do any of you uh, are you need to grab any gear from your various
Yeah, I did.
places?
What you talking
Yeah,
about? I'm
I'm
grabbing
swinging
me a
by home.
plate.
I didn't show up in full body armor to the barbecue, so I'm
I
gonna go
figured.
get
I
my
figured.
body armor and the
yeah,
like.
Okay.
I'm getting my
Get
armor
my
and
get my satchel, get my like
yeah,
medical kit, and get my gear kit up.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting my armor and my grenade launcher in case things need to go boom, and like
Okay.
my explosive just my demolition equipment. You know, you never know when you need to blow something up.
You know,
Oh, these young folk don't
one
know
thing about
better.
Dom is
I'm just gonna grab them a couple of plates
he always
too.
keep his guns on him.
They can
Okay.
thank me later.
But
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you are all able to run off and grab all of your various gear. Um, and put all that together. Um, and unless anyone has anything in particular they want to do in that 30 minutes, is there anything anybody wanted to do in that 30 minutes other than just grabbing your gear? Yeah, Slay.
I just wanted to most of the kids that hang out in my shop. I just want to make sure you know, don't go into the shop without your PPE and all that stuff. Max just basically trying to calm themselves down
Yep.
by like making sure the kids know like all the rules of the shop and like knows where like everything is to like protect themselves in case things go bad and all that.
Yeah. They're like they're mostly like kids are throughout term. They're like, we know. Like
I grab an
and you
extra thing of saran wrap and some gloves because we're gonna need that later.
okay. Yeah. Um, so you're all able to grab your gear and equipment. And you all meet back at the truck. Uh, Silicon Jack is there, uh, and he's got kind of a pack, a kind of a sling pack over one shoulder. Has on a little bit of armor, not anything super heavy, but has on some armor and has a pistol strapped to his side. Um, and he says, "Well, I'm ready when you are."
Yeah. I look around the group and realize we have never run a full op as a group, and I take a very deep breath and go, all right. We probably need to do a very brief summary of what we should and shouldn't do while we're doing this when we hit this node. I
Yeah,
assume, Jack, the goal is to get you to the node, secure the area, and let you do your job.
Yep.
I know we all have different capabilities and different abilities, so we should probably list what we're good at and what we're bad at. Also, we should probably let people know to say things before they do some other things.
I look at
I-
Jack. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I look at Jack and I go, "Do you ever oil that old rusty 45? Like,
So
I can't believe you still carrying that thing."
it looks a little rough on the outside, but it still works. Is all, but here's the good news. Is all the node that we're going to be going to.
I say the same thing about your mama, but like, I take better care of her than that gun.
So, well, mom, she's still spry.
Oh,
But
believe me, I know.
here's the thing. He says, here's the thing. The node that I got set up that we're going to be going to. It's one that might have some guards on it, but I picked it specifically because the guards that are there, they're basically just rent-a-cops.
Oh,
So,
okay.
if you play your cards right, you should
We
be
don't have to
able
do
to,
anything.
yeah, you should be able to take care of them without, shooting up the whole neighborhood.
I'd like to avoid
I
that if possible.
I do. I actually agent NTK real quick and ask for some money so we can just
Yeah.
bribe these guards. Like, I would rather take the 5 minutes to bribe the guards and call it a day than have to shoot out with them and let her know that if we don't end up having to bribe them, we'll give the money back. I let her know what it's for.
Sure. She's like,
Um,
how much you need?
I look to Jack. What's the regular bribe you give them? Or do you not always have to bribe them?
Is all these guys, you give them about 500 eddies a piece.
I'm gonna ask for like 1,500 just in case there's an extra guard.
Okay. Yep. She sends along and she actually she will actually send you 2,500 and say, just in case there are any other expenses.
Appreciate it.
Fair enough.
After the money situation took care of, I look at her around him like, I am the med tech. If you keep me alive, I will keep you alive. That includes if you're in critical condition. And he reaches into his bag and shows that he has a cryo pump. I have one of these. I cannot keep all of you alive. Do not be stupid. I no longer have access to anti-dazzle. Do not flashbang the room without informing us. You're flashbanging the room. Some of us will be blinded. It leads to disasters. It leads to people being shot. And if we're all shot, I can't fix us all at once. If somebody else would like to go now and explain what they're good at and not good at, that would be great.
Well, it goes without saying that, other than helping you guys all out with the supplies for today's barbecue, I'm good at getting in and out of places pretty quickly. I'm also pretty handy at talking to people that normally don't like talking to people. It's part of the job. So if you need someone to try and grease the wheels a bit, I can do it.
If you
Other
don't-
than that,
it
I
sounds
mean,
like if
just
you tell us to
don't.
get to the van, we get to the van. We do not argue
Yeah.
with you. We move to the vehicle when you tell us to get to the vehicle. It is not a
Yeah.
debate. It is not a discussion. It is not a democracy. If you say we are leaving, Marines.
Fair enough.
That's what I
Like you
hear when
said.
you say that, because you are our ride, and keeping you waiting is a good way to get left behind.
Not to mention, here's the thing. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware. Just because the van that Mac was kind enough to help me secure a little while back is it used to be Militech and whatnot. It's been lived in. It's not. All I will say is, even though it's built for a fight, don't put it in a fight. I need it for other things. We all need it for other things. And there's probably only so many times that those windows can get shot out. So just be aware. It is
I'm
Militech.
hearing,
Yeah.
Try to keep gunfire and engagements to a minimum is what I am hearing.
Or at the very least, keep it in the rear view, because no disrespect, but it'll be a lot of people in the back and a lot of equipment in the back between myself driving and the bullets. So I trust you all to, hit them back before I have to. That way I
Sense
can
to
drop
me.
hammer to the floor and we can get out.
Question. If there are other vehicles on site, can other people drive other vehicles if we need to do that? I am basic level of driving. I just want to make sure. Are other people capable of driving at all? Look around. Mac, you can also get behind the wheel if need be. Excellent.
Jackson,
I
No,
can
you
drive a
can't.
bit if we
once
need it.
we're
Okay.
once I'm unhooked, I can drive if needed.
If
All
any
right.
of our vehicles,
I'm just making sure we have backup drivers, or if there's a situation where we need a secondary vehicle.
if
I'm a
any of
planner.
our
I'm not the best
vehicles,
driver,
like,
but I can do it.
if any of our vehicles are
Excellent.
like damaged, I can fix them. I can fix all vehicles. I'm really good at that. Land vehicles,
That is
water
also great
vehicles,
to hear.
air vehicles.
This is one of those moments where I like to have redundancies. I think it's all the trauma team training, but knowing who can do what just in case something bad happens to our primary is always a good idea.
Okay, so
Having a
I'm
panic
probably,
moment because nobody knows how to jump behind the wheel of a car should be averted.
So I'm probably the primary tech of this group because I fix things. I'm very good at fixing things and blowing things up. I can blow things up. I'm very good at that. Very good at
Very good at-
demolitions.
Putting them together and taking them apart is what I'm
Yes.
hearing.
Yeah,
Can
pretty
you
much.
operate? Can you break and entering, like open a lock or anything else? Or
I'm an
not?
excellent lock pick. I can pick any lock.
That
I'm
is
very good.
super important information, just in case things go sideways. You're who we need to guard while they're moving through the lock.
Mhm.
Excellent.
I'm also
Thank you.
pretty handy with breaking in on stuff, but again, we all have
And
our
you're a
roles.
redundancy. Again,
Mhm.
I've lived in the land of redundancies. And that trauma team training is very useful in these moments. I would much rather have a plan because, as much as I love my uncle, get him Ray is not a plan.
Fair enough. Well, if it helps, I
I'm
know
also
people
very
and I
good
can
at
get
first aid.
things.
I'm also good at first aid in case like you get hurt. I can heal you, or at least help you.
The basic stuff, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you'll back Reggie up. But
Yep.
if I can make this call, it'll be when we're in a safe location. Like I'd rather you not do that on the fly and keep people's exposure down to a minimum.
Mhm.
My experience with Militech and just mercs in general, at least on the business end, is mostly hit and run. You know, it's a lot easier to smash, grab, very shock and all, just get in, throw them off guard, and be gone before they really have a chance to digest what's going on, than to really try and drag out a conflict. I wouldn't recommend it. The longer the five of us are stuck in the location, is the higher chances are that most of us aren't walking out of there. Just being completely honest.
I don't disagree with you.
I have lots of
I
grenades.
have been trained in exfiltration and not infiltration, so I hear everything you are saying. But our last two lovely individuals, so other than hosting the most top-rated radio station in every archipelago in the area, what do you do, my old friend?
Yeah. Well, I know the legend. I'm tough enough to push people off if it's necessary. I don't really like talking about the tactics and stuff. Reminds me of the old days, and honestly, I found all that military shit a little boring for my taste. I did it to help Auntie out. You know what I'm saying? But you don't gotta worry about me. I probably know everybody inside the room anyway. So
Okay,
could probably save you a couple of dollars doing those bribes.
sure.
He's a talker.
A bit.
And then I turn and look at our lovely fixer who said they can drive if need be, I believe. And what else do we got going on with you, my friend?
I know people and I can get you things. I'm a
Logistics.
okay shot, and
All right. A good quartermaster keeps everybody alive, so not mad at that. Do you?
Very
my next
social
question
group.
is, my next question is, who wants to bribe our guards when the time comes? Not my go-to. can do, good, not a problem. I give you 20. I give you 15K eddies or 1,500
Cool.
eddies for what she gave us.
Yeah.
Let me
Not
handle
all
it.
of what she gave us. I give you 1,500 for bribing if need be.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Okie dokie. Well, let's
Yeah.
mount up, get on the road, and get to this node.
Okay. So you mount up from where you are and where you need to get to. It's probably about uh, an hour drive. It's not that far, but of course, in the traffic of it's probably takes you a little over an hour to actually get to where you need to go. Um, the ride is fairly uneventful, other than the standard traffic, and where Jack tells you to pull up, he kind of points over and points out on an area where you see several sort of buildings that are mixed use. It's kind of warehouse slash retail, kind of a mixed use area. And you see several buildings, and on one of the corners there is a sort of walled area, and you can see that walled area has a laser fence around the top of it, and there's a single entrance with a small like little guard station and a gate, and then beyond that gate you can see, kind of peeking up slightly over the top of the laser fence, is where the node is located.
Okay.
Around that area um, is mostly where you'll find kind of just the warehouse kind of section of this kind of mixed use area. So there's no real immediate kind of heavy uh, pedestrian traffic near where that node is, uh, just because it's kind of, like I said, warehousey, and there's just not a lot of people like passing that particular spot.
Legit. Jack's niece is here, right? As well.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yep,
she a solo? I assume, or is
she
she
is a
just
solo. Yes.
okay? I ask her when we get right before we start getting into things to do a kit check for me, as I like believe my kit is ready to go. But as you know, some of us
Oh
are
yeah.
trained to use the buddy system, and I have
Yep.
nobody else here to buddy with, so I picked the solo to buddy
Yeah,
with. And
absolutely.
I
She kind of goes over your gear, gives a few tugs here and there, and kind of looks over everything, make sure everything is snug and secure, make sure all of the equipment looks like. She kind of checks everything over, and she says, "Looks like you're good to go."
all right. And I ask her if she wants me to do her as well because I don't know how
Yes.
often she does a buddy check, but
Yeah. She like as soon as she's done with you, she kind of says, "You looks like you're good to go," and then she kind of turns around, just kind of,
does the same thing. Yeah.
"Yep, yep."
Yeah, I do the same check for her. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I put my helmet on, which is clearly like if you've seen the trauma team helmets, they're like usually all white and stark. It is clear that I took one and had it repainted to be like black with like edging and like graffiti style on the side.
Right, right.
So like I may have took something from my old job and not said anything. Um
I'm leaving here with something.
yeah, I'm leaving here with something. this 11 points of armor, it looks like a lot of something I'm leaving here with.
So tell me how you want to approach it.
What my suggestion would be is me and the Nomad hit their little guard tower right at the front of the fence and do a little talking. We get somebody with something long and heavy above us and behind us and put a red beam on them if they don't get down.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find a vantage where you can kind of set up a
Mhm.
little sniper's perch in the event things go south. Alley Cat, for her part, she kind of is going to move off to an area kind of near the warehouse area where she can respond from in case things go hot.
Oh, one last thing. Sorry. who here bought a biomonitor? If you bought a biomonitor, I link my agent to your biomonitor so I can monitor your vital signs. If you don't have a biomonitor, please let me know. I know Mac has one. Nope, nobody else. Just me and Mac. Check.
No.
Got it.
I did the quick template when I built my character, so
You're all good.
yeah. If you want to say I have one with the extra $2,000 I had, like, say I have one.
I mean, if you have, it's like 100 if if you have money and you're sitting on it. So
Yeah, I didn't
I can
spend
definitely.
anything. So
if you didn't spend any of the extra money, then yes, totally buy a biomonitor. It makes my job super easy.
Cha-ching!
Ching. So I'm like biomonitors up. I've got, I assume probably Jack and Alley Cat both have one as they're semi-professionals.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes, they do.
I
I'm
keep a
former
closer eye
military,
on my
so
two
I just
people
assume
without-
I have the stuff that I had to do my job back in the day.
Yep. I try to keep a closer eye perception wise on the two people that do not have a biomonitor because they are the people that I will not be able to immediately know if something is going downhill.
Mac, for their part, just like double checks their grenade launcher just to make sure like everything's cool. Like they know it is because they built it, but they're just like a little nervous habit. They're just like, okay.
So, who is going to approach?
Yeah, me and the Nomad.
Okay.
Sounds like our radio DJ and our Nomad. And I assume Jack is with them because he needs access to the building anyway.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Absolutely.
I
Is
assume
my connection still good? Because it kind of had a hiccup.
Yep. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Cool.
So, you move up to the guardhouse, and as you approach, you don't see anybody like outside the guard shack. As you approach, when you get closer, you can see that the guard shack kind of has a window, an armored window, kind of in the front, and you can see, and then if you were to enter in through the gate, then the door is on the side of the guard shack. As the two of you approach, go ahead and give me, in this case, I am going to ask for a perception roll.
All right, I'm on it.
Hey, what are you rolling? Sorry, let me.
Perception.
Perception. Got it. Okay.
It's 31.
That's I think that's a 18. I rolled a 9. Is it D10 plus 9?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an
Yep.
And I have a,
18.
and I had a 4 in perception. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So as you approach, you don't see anyone outside the guard shack. And you see the door of the guard shack looks like it's just kind of slightly ajar.
All right, I'll pop into the door. Hey, Hakeem, you working today? What's going on, gang?
You do not hear any response.
All right, I'll push the door open.
I'm gonna keep a hand on my pistol. I got your 6. Just go.
Cool, good looking out. Yeah, I'm not worried about nothing, so I just walk in. So what do I see?
You walk in, and as soon as you go in through the door, you see two bodies of the two guards on the ground.
Shit, Hakeem. I don't know. I'm going to tell your sister, but I'm going to find out who did this to you, all right? And Jack, well, you probably deserved it. um, I do a quick inspection of your wounds. What's it look like?
It looks like they were both shot at close range. Um, doesn't look like they had any real time to react. So somebody who they either trusted or somebody they were in a conversation with or something like that just popped them both real quick. It looks like
Shell casings?
no casings.
Any missed shots? Like bullet holes in the wall?
Nope. You only see the two bullet holes, and they were both headshots. Um, and from what you from what it looks like close range. Um, and yeah, you don't see any sign of any casings or anything. It does, as you look around, it does look like uh, they were probably drugged back into the guard shack.
So with no blood smears if they were dragged? No trail?
Nope.
Do I smell any alcohol? Does it look like they cleaned up?
No, no. You definitely see blood inside the guard shack, because they've probably been here a while from your quick inspection. Um, but you don't see any on the out on the ground like outside the guard shack.
Are the bodies still warm or no?
Yeah, they're still warm enough that give me let me see.
Probably first aid, I would think.
Yeah, I would say first aid if you have do you have first aid?
Uh,
I do.
We all do.
think I
You have to
do.
have
Yeah, I do.
You have to
I
have
do.
two minimum.
Yeah, that's right. You do have to have a minimum. So give me a first aid roll.
The 31 perception wouldn't cover this.
It would cover part of it.
Okay. First aid's 14.
Okay. So between all that, you figure they've probably been dead about 2 hours ballpark. But uh um looking at it, it looks like it wasn't alcohol, but something else did a scrub of the area outside the guard shack.
There's some pros here.
You're not quite sure what, but something.
Do I have a radio? I probably have a radio, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you've been agent.
yeah. I'm gonna assume you all have comm links to be able to
Mhm.
communicate with each other. You all have communication links.
Yeah. Eagle, this is ground. I think we got some pros in the area. 2 bodies in the guard station. Please check the windows, make sure that we don't got any company coming in. It sounds like looks like they've been down for about 2 hours, these guards. I know one of them. He's a good kid. But I want to make sure that if anybody's still there, that they're going to get what they get for this.
You want me to come in and take a look?
Yeah. Allie, do you got them covered? Okay. I take up position nearby to make sure that nobody's coming in from the building.
Okay.
Is that Hakeem?
Have we sufficiently checked the interior of the guard track?
Yeah, the guard station is pretty small, so you can see everything in there. It's not all that big. It's a pretty small area.
Okay.
Darius, was that Hakeem they killed?
Yeah, that was the name.
Oh.
I will move up to the guard shack. Do you let me know what you've already done?
Yeah, I'll fill it. Matter of fact, when you move up, I'll fill you in, and then
So
yeah, I'll just
Alley
do a
Cat
quick-
kind of moves up with you as well, and she kind of goes into the area where the node is and starts looking around.
Um, I'm going to check something that I noticed you didn't get covered real quick. One, I have a chem analyzer, so if I could
Yep.
use that to see what chemicals were used, that's one thing I would do. Two, did they take the guards' weapons and ammunition, or did they leave them?
They left them.
Okay.
And give me a med tech roll.
Yeah, no problem. 23.
Oh yeah. So what you're able to, after a bit, put together, at first you're like, well, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. And then after looking a little bit closer and making some adjustments, what you're able to come to the conclusion is that someone used a short-lived bioengineered bacteria that basically ate the blood, basically eradicated any traces of blood outside.
Okay.
So Mac is looking around, like outside. Can I use my air vehicle tech ability to see if there's if I can spot any drones in the area? Just because I'm getting a little paranoid about this.
Yeah,
Just want to see if
absolutely.
anyone, because this feels like an ambush now.
Give me a roll.
All right, plus 16 to this roll.
Yep.
21.
It seems pretty quiet actually. Actually oddly quiet. Like for this particular area, you're not seeing any drone coverage in this area currently.
Guys, this area's got no drone
Um,
coverage. That's unusual for this time of night and this place. I'm feeling I'm not a professional, but I'm feeling an ambush.
Alley Cat comes back and she says, "It's clear back there, so if you still want him to jack in, we better do it quick."
Agreed. Jack, you should probably do whatever you're going to do before you hit the node. Make sure you're not going to set off a bunch of things. But outside of that, you're good to go. This is real conspicuous.
He goes in and you can see him kind of getting set up, kind of doing some sweeps of the equipment that are there, and then he kind of uh, uh, after he does his sweeps, you can see him kind of tap into the node and starts doing his thing. As he's doing that, what are the rest of you up to?
I will take
I was
the
actually
guns and
gonna.
ammo from the guards because we are going to be in a situation where if we're going to be doing a stalling action, the more guns and ammo will be useful for the city as a whole. So,
Okay.
I'm going to use my tech scanner and my radar to like basically keep an eye out for like other people.
Okay.
And like stuff in the area, like people who have tech and stuff. Like I'm trying to just like keep as broad a view on things as I can.
Okay. So what you see in the guard shack, those of you that are in there, you see that each of the two guards each had a pistol.
Mhm.
Each of them also had a slung submachine gun. And in the back of the guard shack, there is a locked kind of weapons cabinet.
I will call in our locksmith.
I will make my way over there.
Okay.
I'll do my lockpicking roll.
While he does that, I'd like to
Okay.
case the outside with a tracking check.
Okay. So give me rolls for those to get through the lock and then sweep in the area.
All right, I got a 13.
Okay.
I got 17 for lockpicking.
Okay. So you were able to get through the lock fairly quickly, without too much problem. It's not a super tough thing to get into. You open it up and you find inside. You will find four uh, assault rifles with various ammunition for those and the other weapons that the guards were carrying, some extra ammunition. You will find also 4 uh, flashbang grenades, and then 4 basically tear gas grenades.
If no one minds, I'm just gonna add those grenades to my inventory to like shoot grenades. Can I have the grenade launcher? If no one minds.
And then there's some other minor equipment in there. There's a couple of like two-way radios in there as well. There's a few of those, and some other like flashlights and some other equipment like that in there.
I
Oh,
roll out
I-
a bag and just kind of put everything in the bag safely, making
You
sure to
also
not like.
find. I was going to say, I'm sorry. You also find 4 sets of a fairly like a medium body armor.
Like the sevens body armor is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll throw open the duffel and start taking it, and also making sure to not put loaded weapons in the duffel because that's a great way to not end up well. But sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to gather that up. For the sweep around the area, what you're able to find is that a couple of things. One, it looks like again, this area, and it's something that if somebody were to pass by this area and not really pay a lot of attention, they wouldn't notice how quiet it was. Because of this kind of like mixed use area that of retail and warehouse, that this is a area that at this time probably doesn't ordinarily see a lot of traffic, but now that you're looking closer, it seems to be extra quiet around here. What you also find looking around the area is that on the corner where this kind of guardhouse is, just around the corner, it looks like a vehicle was pulled up next to that, and then uh, left a little bit of rubber behind as it took off quickly uh, fairly recently.
Jack, you might want to get your stuff together and let's get this done because I'm not liking this.
Yeah, he's already, you can see if you look over, he's already plugged in and doing his thing. So, and Alley Cat looks down and you can see um, next to where he is, there's a tiny little display set up, and she kind of like keeps glancing at that display, and she says he estimates about 2 more minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else that anyone would like to do in that short time
Does
frame?
Mac let our nomad know about the vehicle? Because that feels like a thing the nomad.
I think
might
the
wanna-
nomad was the one who felt.
Yeah, the nomad was the one who found it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
confused
yeah,
about
yeah.
who found what.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good.
Slick Will
Yeah,
found it.
yeah, the nomad was the one who found the vehicle because he was doing a sweep of the outside of the guard.
Yeah,
The,
I was picking locks with my arm.
Yeah, outside of the node, the wall where the
I
node
do have a
is.
question about that lock pick. About that lock.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how to like. Was it put like? Was it like locked like haphazardly, or was it like locked like up to standard? Like, did someone like? You get what I'm saying?
yeah, no, it was locked up to standard. It was just not a very heavy duty lock because
Yeah.
they figured there was always going to be someone on duty, so they just didn't have a very heavy lock on it.
I just look at Hakeem for a moment, and I'm just like, oh man, his son's gonna be so sad.
So after that couple of minutes goes by, you see Jack kind of pull out of the node, and he says, "Let's get out of here."
Yeah. Sounds like a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna signal to Mac about the vehicle. If he wants to go ahead and pop that, so we have an extra joint to get out. But yeah,
Wait, I thought the vehicle was gone away. Did they leave the vehicle?
Yeah, no, the vehicle, yeah, it was there, but it peeled out. It looks like.
oh okay, yeah, I misread
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
misread
yeah.
that.
No, yeah, it peeled out. So you just kind of got the hint of the rubber that it left behind when it peeled out.
Got it. Okay.
So you're all able to fall back to the vehicle, and pile in, and as soon as you're on the road, Jack says, "Well, where do I start?"
Beginning's
Hopefully at
pretty
the
good.
beginning.
So, first, the money trail. It looks like this Frontier Investment Group is a joint venture between Militech and Petrochem.
Fun.
Oh, that's even worse than I thought. Continue.
The one who's the executive, who's in charge of this little party, if you will, is a fellow by the name of Lyle Wilson. He's a mid-level corpo with Petrochem. He's the one they've got kind of pulling the strings on this at the street level. Also, they had some hidden cameras in that spot we just hit. He's all, now, while I was in there, they had a little bit of a malfunction and lost some of their data, but I got a recording. And he kind of brings up a screen and kind of plays back a video. And what you see is a vehicle, a sort of SUV, basically, and that pulls up next to the building around where you saw the peel out. A single individual gets out of that building, or out of the vehicle, and he kind of heads around to the guards and looks like he's talking to the guards. Does anyone have
Lip reading.
make me a human perception roll?
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to.
So that's
Is it just
12.
perception?
No, human perception. It's going to be a
It's a
very
stat.
particular skill. It's like
Yeah,
emotion.
human perception. It's under the social skills.
Oh,
I got a
yeah.
15.
Okay.
15.
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
Yep, there
Let's
you go.
see. I have a 15. No,
Okay.
that's a 14. Sorry.
Okay. You'll get enough to pick up that when this guy walks up to the guards and talks to them, they kind of snap to. Like they recognize him and like he has authority. He is talking to them for just a couple of moments, and then lightning quick, pulls out a pistol and just pops them both. You see him move the bodies into the thing. He opens up a vial and kind of pours it where the blood spatter was from the initial shots. And that you can pretty much see is the little engineered bacteria that wiped out that portion. So there was no obvious sign of violence from the outside of the building. Um, he then moves back into the area uh, where the node is, hooks up a device to the node, leaves it there for a few minutes, takes the device back, goes back to the vehicle, and gets back in. Now he gets out of and gets back in to the passenger side of the vehicle. From the vantage of the cameras, you can't see the driver's side, but you assume there's got to be a driver, or it's remotely piloted or something because he's getting in and out of the passenger side. And then it kind of peels out.
Um,
Um, yeah.
Did we get a
so
face?
Yes.
yeah.
You got a face of a man, probably 30s, um, white with kind of uh, brownish hair color. Um, couldn't make out his eyes. He had glasses, shades over his eyes, um, and was wearing kind of a fairly long black, like trench style coat.
Oh, he's biting my style too. Cool.
Yeah.
So I know most of the vehicle people in the city, and that car is like. Could I tell? I don't know if you would let me roll for this, but can I tell whose work do I recognize on that car? Is it just a generic car or is it like a custom build?
Give me a roll. Give me a I'll
Land vehicle
say,
tech.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, that's a good one. 22.
It looks like it's mostly a stock vehicle, but when you look a little bit closer, and you zoom in, you realize that you can see kind of from the back of the vehicle some distinctive upgrades on the suspension that that you recognize as belonging to a vehicle tech that you've whose work you've seen before, who goes by the name of Hound Dog.
I just point to the back of the car with the suspension. I'm like, see that suspension? That's classic Hound Dog's work. He does suspension like that all the time. A Hound Dog.
In
Hound dog fixes up my boat every once in a while. It's a good
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
in a similar sort of thought process, is it possible that I might recognize who this person is? Being a fixer, I imagine I have a variety of networks and whatnot. And if someone needed a assassin of this caliber, I would probably be aware of who this person is to point work or get work for them.
Yeah. What skill do you propose you might want to use for that?
I would argue business because it isn't my business.
Sure. Give me a business roll.
All right, that's a good time. That's going to be a 16.
Okay. Um, you do not um recognize the individual himself, but as you take a closer look, you notice that on the back uh, of his neck, there's a small tattoo, and that you do recognize. Um, you recognize it as belonging to a uh, a mercenary outfit that calls itself the Salamanders.
That's one of the salamanders guys.
The other thing Jack would tell you that he basically discovered is that and you've heard the name a couple of times as the woman who is fronting um, Frontier Investments, Rennie Arbach, and she is then with Frontier Investments the direct report to Lyle Wilson, who's the petrochem individual who's above her at the like petrochem level. So
One last thing, would I as a tech person, and I've worked on people with Netrunner gear and stuff. Would I know what that device that he plugged into the node does? Like, can I make a roll?
yeah, you're a sufficient enough tech. You don't even have to roll for it. You would recognize that that device uh, could be used for two purposes. It could be used to either pull data from the node or put data on the node. So it's essentially a high tech flash drive, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll just tell everyone he downloads something or he uploads something with that device. He download most likely download, but could be an upload.
I mean, it's basically a USB port. We could all figure that out.
Yeah.
But what I need to know is, what were they saying to him? Did we get out of character? Did we get the audio on that recording?
no,
All right.
nope, no
Can
audio.
we see their lips, like
You can
Hakeem and them?
see from the perspective of the one camera that picks them up. You can see their lips, but not the guy that was speaking to them.
All right.
You can get kind of a profile of him. So if you try to read lips, you might be able to pick up some of what he's saying.
I don't know how to do that, but Jack, do me a favor. Give me a recording of this tape. I'm gonna see if I can find that kid from Bradshaw. She used to do lip syncing and all that shit. I'm gonna see if she can pick up what they were saying.
Sure.
Because whatever happened to Hakeem, I really need to make sure that it doesn't happen to anybody else in our hood. He was a
Yeah.
good boy.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna roll the local expert and see if I can get her contact information.
Yeah, easily done. Give me um make it a streetwise roll.
Streetwise, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bollocks, where is it?
What role would
10.
I have? Sorry, go ahead.
What was that, Slay?
Let
Oh yeah, go
let
ahead.
Falls go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
10.
10? Okay.
Mm.
So by the time you get back to back home, all of you, unless you're going somewhere else, are you going straight back or are you going to go somewhere else?
Nah, I'm on the job right now.
Okay. So by the time you get back, you are able to through contacts get kind of a partial translation of the conversation. And essentially what you get is he approaches the two individuals acknowledge him and say they say, hey, what are you doing here? We thought we'd talk later. They exchange some words, and what you're able to pick up is it sounds like this guy offered the two of them a job within his outfit, the mercenary outfit, the Salamanders that he works for, and basically that he had recruited them, and then he used that as a ruse to get close to them and then just popped them both.
Did Hakeem accept the job?
It sounds like they had talked to him before and they had already accepted the job. And it sounded like he returned under the pretense that he was going to talk to him some more about the job, and then that's when he took them both out.
I don't think any kid I know would have took a job from a guy like that. But
It sounds like, um, from what little you can pick up, there was something about they didn't go into any details in this conversation, but there was something about uh, a signing bonus and taking care of family.
yeah, that tracks. He had a daughter after all.
Yeah.
So you all get back and you pull back up um to the front, um or the main area where you park the vehicle, and you kind of start to pile out, and that is where I think we're going to take our break as you figure out what your next steps are going to be with the information that you've just gathered. So I want to say we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to go get hydrated, maybe get a little bit of snack. Everybody out there watching, if you would want to do the same, grab a little something to eat, grab a little something to drink. And we're going to take about 15 minutes. We will be back here at about, yeah, in about 15 minutes, depending on what time zone you're in. For me, it's 5:32. So just adjust for wherever you are. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of our break, and we will see you all soon.
Dope.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us back here for a little bit more Burning Obsidian. We got a quick shout out. Slay, you got a quick shout out. Go for it.
Shout out to my sister Annie. She is turning 36 today. Happy birthday, sis.
Happy birthday, Annie. Um, so, uh, to pick back up where we left off, the group had just gotten back. Um, and you have arrived back. I know the first thing Jamie wanted to do there was to try and pin down a location on
Hound dog.
Hound Dog. So go ahead and let's say give me give me a streetwise roll.
Okay. Let me scroll down to the step.
Can I assist him on that?
Yeah.
What's assist
You
do in this game?
go ahead and roll too. Both of you roll, and then we'll see what you come out with.
23.
9.
Okay. So with the assist there, you were able to track down. You've definitely seen hound dogs work around time. You find that the hound dog has a shop that's a little bit of a ways away, but you're able to pinpoint where they are, their shop is, and then get contact information for hound dog.
Okay. If no one else has anything to do, I'd like to contact Hound Dog real quick.
Okay. So you're going to be contacting Hound Dog. What's everyone else going to be doing while as you've just arrived back?
I want to see what the word is on the street about these salamander cats and
Okay.
why they would have picked somebody like Hakeem and them to try to work for them. And have
Okay.
they been like asking around about other people? Because I feel like they're trying to backdoor us.
Yeah.
Give me I'll say a streetwise roll there too. And while you're doing that, yeah, Jamie, you are able to get a hold of get a message through to Hound Dog, and you get a response back that basically says, "Yeah, what's up?"
I'd say I need to ask you. I need to ask you about some work you've been doing. You've been doing for a certain organization.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What are the salamanders doing in the neighborhood?
So now that I couldn't tell you. I just know that they brought in a vehicle, stock vehicle.
Yeah, I recognize
Said,
your suspension.
yeah, well, that's what they said. They said they needed a suspension upgrade for something that was going to be able to handle city driving, but also be sturdy enough that they could do some off-road stuff too.
Okay. Well, you're an expert in your field, as you probably know this. In your expert opinion, what would a outfit like the Salamanders need a vehicle like that for? Need suspension like that for? In your expert opinion.
He's all, well, he's all, if I had to guess, I'd say that they've got something going on out out in the outskirts out there past Riverside. They got something going on where they need to go off road.
Right. You know what? Can you contact some of the other techs and see if we can keep some people from keep our friends from working with the salamanders for a bit. If we can swing that, they killed Hakeem.
Really?
Yeah, Hakeem's gone.
He's all, yeah, I'll put the word out, see if I can find out any other information.
All right, you got my number.
Yep,
Stay safe, man.
will do. So what did you get on the roll to find out that other little tidbit there, Fall?
27.
27. And what was so? What exactly were you asking?
Well, I want to know if they targeted anybody else other than Hakeem and what Hakeem might have been up to be able to like accept such a deal.
So what you are able to gather, it doesn't sound like the salamanders are doing any recruiting at all. Um, like none currently. Uh, it sounds like uh, to you like somebody dangled something in front of Hakeem just to get some cooperation and probably had no intention of following through.
Hmm. Is my role good enough to locate his partner, like his baby mama or something like that?
Hakeem's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, you know, uh, where Hakeem's people stay. So
All right. I want to go pay her a visit.
okay. Uh, you uh, you head over. Um, and it's in the same actually body uh of buildings where you're not in CT3 but in one of the other holdout buildings nearby. So you're able to get there pretty quickly. It's just kind of like walking from one building in the projects to the next essentially. Um and you head over, and she's just kind of out in front of their place, uh just chilling currently.
Hey, is that you, Miss Lewis?
Yep, yep. She's like, what
Yo,
brings you over here?
I got some bad news for you.
You can kind of see, um, she knows before you even say, coming from where you all come from. Uh, it's not unusual. And she kind of reads the situation. Uh, and she just kind of looks at you and just kind of silently kind of says, Hakeem.
Yeah, it was quick.
Um, you can tell that she's struck, but uh and you can see the tears pooling in her eyes, but you can also tell that you can hear the kids inside, and you can also tell that she's not uh immediately breaking down, as she's trying to hold it together with the kids inside.
Yeah. So,
So what happened?
um, he got caught by some professional. I don't know why yet. I'm looking into it. He was a long time commenter and fan on the podcast, so I'm gonna make sure that you're taken care of. But if you have it in you, I got some questions. It would help.
What do you need to know?
You have his email password.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna need to get into his account and see if he's had any dealings with these people. Because if I can find that out, I might be able to find out who's behind this. And were you at the party this morning?
she's all She's all, no, but we had our own meeting here. So she's from the adjacent kind of one of the other. So you're from CT3 and she's from CT8. But they're one of the other
All
holdout
right.
buildings too. So
So you know what Auntie has got going on. So you understand the
yeah.
severity of the situation. I'm sure what your boy was getting into, but um, if I can get down to that, then I'm gonna make sure that he gets his due.
So she basically drops you a link with all of his recent communications.
All right. I got a friend that can analyze this, see if there's any patterns in his communications
Okay.
and speech analyst, all that shit. Like you know how I get down. So give me a couple of days and I'll contact you. If you need any help with the funeral arrangements, please let me know.
She just kind of looks over at you, and you can see something pass across her eyes. You would know enough from the neighborhood, uh, and you would know enough from looking at her and some of the cyberware that she has and some of the uh, tattoos that she has, that she served at one point. And she just kind of looks over her shoulder back towards the apartment and then looks at you and just says, "Do what needs to be done."
Absolutely. Compton versus everybody.
And
And
then
I
she
walk
kind of
off.
just, yeah, she heads back inside. What are the rest of you doing as you're back at the back home, as it were?
Uh, disseminating the weapons to the people who need them.
Okay. Auntie K basically make sure that those weapons get to. She kind of passes them out to the people who would be best able to use them in the neighborhood. And she kind of looks you all over, and she says, "What did you find out?"
Good news, bad news situation.
Okay.
Good news is we got names and other things to work from. Bad news is the salamanders are doing somebody's legwork somewhere. Not sure what's up with that.
She saw
Uh,
the salamanders. She saw they do almost exclusively corporate extractions. The hell are they doing
yeah,
mixed up in
they did a
this?
hit earlier, which is real awkward because that's not in their normal wheelhouse. Um,
She's all, "Tell
so
me." So she kind of asks, "What did you, she kind of asked for like a debrief of what you uh
I let her know that we went to the node with Jack. That we found the two people that were working there dead. We found out one of the person that helped kill them was a salamander. We found out that the person on the node is like the name from the person on the node because that was another thing we found out. And then we basically hightailed it back here. It was awkward to say the least.
she's she's like, "If the salamanders did that, there's a good chance that they are that what this guy was doing there was setting up something for an upcoming extraction."
Yeah, the question is, who are they extracting from where?
That is the question.
Um, I think I would have rolled along with them for the debrief.
Yeah.
So I'd like to chime in at this point. My thoughts kind of go back to whoever's on ice. I mean, they could be extracting someone else, but I don't know. I get a feeling that they're planning on hitting hard and getting out before they cause too much collateral damage.
I
Oh,
mean
you
that
think they're hitting you think they're hitting the iced asset because it would be the best time to grab them
that would
if it's
definitely be
activated.
uh definitely be a possibility. I mean, if they've brought him in, they're not going to crack him out of that thing
Go time.
until
Yeah.
go time.
Well, that's an important situation. And if that's the case, we could leverage this with the salamanders and let basically hold like I look around and make sure our radio host is not here because I don't think they are. They're off talking to baby mama
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
off. Yeah, they're still off.
I understand that some of us have the mentality that it's us against the world, and it can be, but you have to understand the world has bigger plans. And unfortunately, Hakeem was amongst one of the people that got shot, which will complicate things for our lovely radio host, who will probably want to put a bullet in the head of the salamanders. Downside to that is starting to put bullets in the. What's up?
No, say absolutely yes. Out of character, yeah, that's what's happening.
Downside to this is we can't let the salamanders take their job, and if they are in the middle of screwing things up, this is an enemy of our enemy as our friend situation.
Mhm.
This is if the salamanders are spending their time mucking up that staging ground to pull an extraction, we can wait till they're doing that, and it really helps us. And downside to
just
that
kinda
will be
nods.
getting our boy to pause long enough to understand that maybe sometimes vengeance can wait a little bit.
I can talk to Darius, but I don't know when
Yeah.
Darius gets like this, he kind of just does what he will. But I did put the word out to the local techs. None of the techs are gonna really work with the salamanders right now. Like if they so
I can
That's good. That'll make things a bit easier.
yeah.
Auntie K says, I think you may be right. She's all, I can talk to him when he gets back. I think that it's not so much justice denied, but justice delayed.
I am
If
fine
we,
with delayed. I have no love for these dudes. I don't mind putting bullets in their head, but putting bullets in their head right now feels like it opens up an extra front for us rather than waiting for them to cause an opening for us.
I agree, it would make sense to let them, if that's what they're after, let them take it, and then we can worry about taking care of that guy later.
Unfinished business later.
If this information helps you guys figure something out, Hound Dog said, in his expert opinion, they're doing something Riverside out of the in the outskirts. Because that suspension on that car, that's what's going to be. That's what Hound Dog's known for, is his car work. So
That's good.
If they're working out that way, some of my people might have seen them because ain't nothing out past Riverside but land to be reclaimed. Really, like it's the Badlands out there.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Um,
I actually turn toward Dom and go, do you think you might be able to set up a meeting with them at some time in the near future?
I can get in contact with them. It depends on what we're trying to do. I can have someone try to tail them or something, or I could get a
Let's
meeting with them. I'm pretty sure.
tail
Or I could
them, and if we can
try to figure
confirm
out.
that they're going to make a hit and make an extraction run beforehand, the leverage is because we know we can play either one, we can give this information back to the corpse, which doesn't help us, but it does allow us to be like, no, salamanders, you should do what we say because we have information that you don't want to get out.
Yeah,
That's what it comes
I
down to.
I can get a meeting with them.
Okay.
I've talked to him a couple of times, I think.
we're going to have to talk to Darius before that meeting, because if I know Darius, he'll pull fast. He'll pull when he sees a salamander, he's going to pull and he's going to start shooting.
He will shoot first and ask questions later, and I'm not saying he's wrong to want to. I'm saying this might not be the time.
Well, if we meet with them, they might want to meet on their turf, and if that's the case, it wouldn't be a good idea to do that anyway.
So
Yeah.
you would all know,
Cool.
that there is a location in Neo Los Angeles, a bar, a nightclub that goes by the name the Howling Wolf. The Howling Wolf is essentially kind of like uh, the Continental from John Wick. Um, you can meet there, but uh, over the last few decades since the Howling Wolf opened, no one who has initiated violence on the grounds of the Howling Wolf has survived more than a week.
You can meet
Yeah.
at the Howling Wolf.
So leave all your shit in the car. Got it.
I want to talk to
Thank you,
Auntie K
Ollie.
before we go. When I get back,
Who do you want to talk to again?
Auntie.
Okay. Yeah, so
Um,
you get back and Auntie is just kind of you see her kind of chatting with everybody.
Auntie, Captain, let me holler at you for a minute. I don't want
Yeah,
to talk
she kind
for
of
everybody
steps
else.
over. She kind of steps over. Yeah.
I'm assuming they told you what happened to Hakeem, right?
Yes,
And you know what I want to do.
we do. But about that, she's all. Here's the thing. I think you absolutely need to do what needs to be done, but I think you need to wait a little bit. We found out that these salamanders might be disrupting the people who are coming after us. So I'm asking you, let the salamanders do their business against the people that might kill more of us. And then once that's done, you can do what you need to.
Only because you're asking. You know how it was. I haven't changed much since our days working together, but
Fair enough. She's all, it needs to be done, but
I have a debt to his wife.
yeah, I get
It
it.
needs to be paid. But in
Once
interest of that,
once they do their business, you're free and clear.
I need a favor first.
What do you need?
She gave me his emails.
Yeah.
I need to have these analyzed so I can figure out who's behind all this.
Yeah. Done.
All
Yep.
right. Well,
She'll take them and get them.
Um, when Auntie K like leaves to,
Yep.
I want to approach Darius, just me and Darius.
Okay.
I want to go. Hey, Darius. Look,
what's up, Mac?
um, I'm pretty sure Auntie K told you that they gotta like, wait to take care of the guy who killed Hakeem, and I agree. But if you find that you can't wait and that you need to pull, I'll be right behind you, man.
I appreciate you. I'm not gonna do anything rash.
All right. Just want you to know that, if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't have survived to like my teens. So like, I owe you. So if you need me to, uh, I'll pull right next to you.
Kid, you don't owe me shit. You owe Compton.
Understood.
And I don't speak for Compton.
I know.
So as long as we working together, we work for the city. And whatever happens, happens. But right now, all I want to know is who did this and why, and how are they connected to these other guys,
Yeah.
if at
Hound
all.
Dog didn't know any names because Hound Dog doesn't ask names. That's not his style.
I get
But
it.
yeah. But we did put the word out that none of the techs are working with the salamanders for the foreseeable future. Hakeem was liked by a lot of people.
Yeah, and I heard that salamanders weren't recruiting anybody either, so
They
he was targeted specifically, and it's probably because of where he worked.
they
So
dangled the hook right in front of him.
yeah, they wanted something that they were hiding there, and he was their way in. And after he let them in, they put him in the ground. So what were they hiding?
So Jack, back over where the rest of you are, he says Aunt Kay had handed him the uh the link with the emails, and he basically says, "So he's all here's what I can put together." He's this guy. He's using the name Bly. This guy Bly contacts Hakeem, offers him a signing bonus of 10,000 eddies, tells him that his family will be taken care of if he signs on with the salamanders, and he uses that as incentive to dangle in front of the kid. I also found from the information I got here and backtracing the information that I pulled off the node, the salamanders have set up two staging areas. One of them is near the staging area where Militech has this popsicle hold up. The other one is out in the Badlands, and it looks like they're preparing two extraction teams. One for this popsicle and one for someone else. I don't know who.
All right, so Jack, tell me, are they or are they not working with Gray? Are they moving against them? What's going on?
No, it looks like they're going to hit Gray Horizons, steal this popsicle that Militech's brought in for, and it looks like maybe the two drones, and then they're hitting some other target out in the Badlands.
Sounds like we need to pull a Sun Tzu or some shit because the chaos is going to be our opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we go in when the dust settles and mop up everybody else.
I think more information is needed. It's not enough. We got just a vague idea of their plans and nothing else. We go in and we don't know what they're doing, then that's it.
Well,
We make a call.
make the
Wait a
call.
minute.
I might need to make one myself.
And we need to find out who they're trying to get into Badlands.
So I make 3 calls.
Okay.
So,
Man, busy.
So who you
whenever
calling?
Dom says, "Let me make a call," he's about to make several calls.
And actually, I wanna have Slick pull Dom to the side and just be like, I think I've already explained my situation to you. While it's my pack, we're kind of on outs right now. So if I give you the people to talk to, just don't let them know it came from me. But they should be in the area.
Okay.
All right, let me know. Send me their contact info.
Done. I'm just gonna
So,
agent it over.
Dom, who are you
So I'm gonna
calling?
make 4 calls.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
listening to the Don right now. I'm just thinking about that scene in Game of Thrones because, like, if it was me, I'd been like, "Let them know it was me.
Yeah.
Tell that bitch Cersei.
I want her to know.
Yep.
I killed her kids. Do something about it."
Lovely. So first call I'm gonna make is to a contact of mine
Okay.
who knows a lot of people.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask them if they know. Yeah, I got 3 phones going. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
All dialing people at the same time. It's great stuff. No, the first call I make is to someone who I know that knows a lot of people, and I'm first going to try to figure out who this Bly person is.
My phone's on silent.
Alrighty. So you're gonna find out who Bly is, and then what?
The second call I make is to another fixer, and I'm going to ask them if they know. In fact, I might even call Rat actually.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm gonna ask Rat if they know about any deals that was made that had been made with the salamanders. If a fixer hooked them up to whatever deal they got going on or whatever plan they're doing extraction, or if they got or if Rat knows anything about someone hiring any corpse, like any of the people in the corpse that are hired the salamanders to do this.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out who they got the job from.
Okay.
The third call is to the salamanders,
Okay.
um, because setting up the meeting.
Right.
Um, and then the last call is to the whoever's contact information. Um,
Okay. You got for the nomads.
yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
So give me. I'm going to ask for 3 rolls here.
lovely.
So first, give me a business roll.
I do love doing business. It's good stuff.
It's
Uh,
business.
oh, that's a
It's
good time.
business time.
That's a 20.
Okay. Next,
Some
give
business.
me a streetwise roll.
Where's my streetwise? Where you at? There it is. Okay. This is also a good thing, a good one for me. It's good times. Ooh, that's nice. 21.
Very nice. And finally, give me a human perception roll.
Ooh, nice rolls. That's a 19.
Okay. Good. Very nice. So it takes you, a couple of hours of wrangling and, bouncing back and forth and all of that fun stuff. Um, so you were able to find out a few things from the various contacts who get back to you. First, you find out that this Bly guy is a fairly well placed operative for the salamanders. And he's the one who's kind of their troubleshooter. He's the one that kind of uh, does things on the sly to make their main extractions easier. And he does not care who he's got to step on or what he's got to do to achieve that. Um, but he doesn't care if he has to, blow up a block or whatever the case may be. He's going to do whatever it takes to make the actual main job that they're doing easier. Um, so that's pretty much what you find out about him. What you're able to find out from Rat is he tells you that he's able to come back after a little while with some information that the salamanders have been hired to hit and, as you kind of figured, take that uh, popsicle that whoever it is that they've got cryonically that Gray Horizon has on loan from Militech cryonically in cryonic suspension, and the 2 drones that person is controlling. Uh, Next, you hear that they are um, also simultaneously going to be doing an extraction on someone out in the Badlands, and that someone out in the Badlands is holed up in a bunker out in the Badlands, and that person is apparently someone who the word is has codes to control whoever it is that's in that cryonic chamber, that they have the override codes. um Now, you hear, as part of that, you hear the name of a corporation that's fairly new on the scene, but this corporation, being, even though they're new, there's something about them. They rocketed to a top position very quickly. And a lot of people have said that the way they managed to rocket to the top was both scary and shady. And the name of that corporation is Serendipity. That particular corporation, um, they rumors abound about who they are. They only have a handful of offices, yet they've skyrocketed to the top. Not a lot is known about them because they're so new on the scene. Uh, but what people do say is that they make use of some very esoteric technologies, some very scary technologies that people say aren't like anything else that they've seen. That perhaps they've been dabbling in some sort of biotechnology, um, and that whoever this person that they're extracting out there in the Badlands is associated with serendipity. Um, you are able to set up a meeting with the salamander. And what you also hear between what you get from Rat and what you get from the Nomad contacts is that uh, they've heard that the salamander's plan is to make their extraction to uh, strike before Militech breaks the person out of cracks them out of the cryonic suspension and activates the drones, that they plan to basically level the uh, the forward operating base that where Gray Horizon is set up, and then they've acquired the salamanders have a large shipment of sate that they think the word is they want to use to level the Gray Horizon camp, with the possibility of that leveling being then traced back to um, CT3, to where you guys are.
So they're trying to blame us. They're trying to make us the fall guys. Got it.
Yes.
So, um, so after I learn all that stuff, I'll come back and I won't repeat it all, but I tell you all that.
Yeah.
They're trying to make us the fall guys, huh? Yeah, sounds like we got some sus folks among us. Tell them
No, I
dish.
mean,
Fall
no,
guys,
I mean
never game.
it's not actually a bad thing. That's not actually the worst idea.
What do you mean?
I mean,
What I mean by that is if they make it out like we have the capacity to blow up 200 mercenaries and we are in the exec's room when it happens and it doesn't catch us by surprise and we know about it and it looks like we actually orchestrated it, it changes the dynamic. Power
that
is
was
one
giving us
thing.
some more leverage.
The
So we take your
perception
little
of
false
power is a
flag
different
gap
one.
operation and use it to our advantage. Then is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is inherent risk here though, because if we kind of roll with what's already in motion, even if the people it's meant to intimidate get that message, the people who help set it up will look at us and be like, I did you a solid, and I know you couldn't do that. Like we be
So here's
trading
the thing.
one set of
That's
devils for
interesting.
another.
The salamanders want no witnesses. They want drones. They want this dude on cryo. They want the person in the bunker, and they want nobody to know they extracted them. Because the moment that it turns out that they extracted them, Militech is going to turn on. Let's be clear, Militech, once they realize their property is in somebody else's hands and not destroyed, our subdivision, our suburb, our hood is so less important to them. They are going to hunt down those people. This is billions in eddies worth of development.
Mm-hmm.
We are $1 million problem. They are $1 billion problem.
What if they think
Honestly,
we
I don't
stole
think
it?
they'd have a problem with us
They think
because
they're
if
going to think we
we
destroyed it. There's a difference between destroying it and stealing
Yeah,
it.
but when they find
The
out
salamanders
that
want this to go off without it being. They want it to look destroyed, and they're going to steal it, and they're going to go give it a competitor.
okay.
That's what they
if
want.
we know what they're planning, the salamanders won't do anything because we got leverage on them with that.
Yeah,
in and of itself.
Once we now have a paper trail that says the salamanders took your thing. The moment the salamanders are like, we're going to leverage this, nothing stops us from sending it to Militech. Because once again, it puts more space between us and Militech coming back.
You said the salamanders don't want witnesses. What's to stop them from wiping out the neighborhood?
Mama
is-
K or Aunt K looks at you and she says, "Here's the thing. If you can get a hold of whoever's running this operation on the Militech side, you might be able to manage something here. See, whoever the salamanders are working for, they're going to give them that equipment. And whoever has that equipment is eventually going to copy it, use it, whatever. If you can get your hands on whoever's at the top, on the people who are trying to take us out, you can then make some kind of a deal that takes us off the hook
Yeah.
in exchange for them knowing who actually took their stuff."
So, Captain, is this the metaphorical gun that we're going to bring to their heads?
I mean, I was going to go with an actual gun originally.
She's all, "Well, that I'm
I
not
mean,
saying
every
that."
time I mention actual guns, you talk about, oh no, they might be dangerous.
No, I was
So-
Well, it's
pretty
'cause
clear
you wanna
once we
go in
find
there
the
and blow
executive, we
someone's
put a
head
gun to their head. I wasn't speaking metaphorically that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not to kill him, but just to get some leverage. And I still think it might be a good idea for you to do that.
Yeah. So the question is, what's the play, Auntie? Is the play talk to the salamanders, let them know, do your thing, or is the play get to this executive and have this like my biggest issue is once this executive knows the salamanders are doing what they're doing, nothing stops them from staying on budget.
Well,
I
that's
think
when it's going to be all about the timing, right?
So we let the salamanders do what the salamanders are gonna do, and then talk to the executive. Be like, "Hey, exec, these guys blew up your shit, and then like stole a bunch of your good stuff."
I mean, that's one possibility.
we would just have to hope that Militech wipes the salamanders off the map because otherwise they be coming back to the neighborhood for revenge. Like no matter which order of events we choose, the end goal has to be deflecting all of this away from CT3.
Because
Not
right
just
now we're in
CT3,
a
everyone.
three-way standoff, and that's not good.
Potentially even more. We have no idea how many of these other corps are working on trying to get a piece of the pie here. Like
Actually, that's a good idea. We need to know who's paying the salamanders.
I guarantee you, no matter how good their net runners are, they aren't corp level to be able to hide a money trail. I don't think we'll have to work as hard as we
Seems
did
like-
the last time.
correct me
Would
if
how?
I'm wrong.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No,
Alright,
just correct me if I'm wrong, Stefan. It seemed like Serendipity was the one that's paying salamanders, right?
Yes.
It is alluded we do not have a paper trail. We can
Yeah, you don't have the paper
speculate.
trail, but that's the rumor that you heard. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have an idea. Would Hound Dog? He probably doesn't normally do this, but under these circumstances, he might. Would Hound Dog let me have access to his payment records so I can track the payment that the salamanders gave him and track that to whoever gave the money to the salamanders?
He's like, "Here's the interesting thing," he'll tell you. It's all, "They paid me in goods,
What goods did they give you?
a bunch of parts.
You know more than just parts. Don't be coy.
They gave me, honestly, they gave me suspensions parts. They gave me some armor plates.
Armor plates, okay. What? How high grade are the armor plates? Are they the good stuff? They're like
Good
the real
stuff.
good stuff.
Real good stuff.
Like the stuff like like the stuff. Okay, like the stuff Militech would have, or
It's Militech level quality, but it's not Militech stuff.
okay, they paid you in goods. Okay, because they didn't want me to. They didn't want anyone to trace you. Okay, trace. All right. Okay.
So the question is, do we play it or do we find a paper trail and try to make the corpse punch each other at each other? Because
I
the end
vote the
goal,
latter. I vote the latter. We gotta in this whole enemy of my enemy is my, friend or whatever situation. We we need the people who could potentially get caught up in blowing money on punching each other in the face over this property to do so as much as possible and as vigorously as possible. So that by the time one of them is left, we've already done whatever we need to do so we can just deal with that one because they're not
I
going to
hear
go
you.
away.
Serendipity is not punching about the property. They are punching about Militech's tech. So the
I
key
don't care
here
about us.
is Serendipity needs to have Militech's tech in their possession, and
Mhm.
we have to be able to hand that over to Militech. Because
Yeah.
the moment we hand over that Serendipity has Militech's tech, we are so much less of a priority.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't have Militech's tech and we stop them beforehand, what stops Militech from immediately going back to their project and their deadline? Nothing.
Contract.
What's up?
A contract. We solve Militech's problem. We get their tech back. They leave us the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna last 30 minutes. They gonna move us Trail of Tears style. That's gonna last 30 minutes.
To be
Unless
That is a
honest here, the true
unless
problem is
we work. Is there even an angle where we could possibly work with the people who are trying to crack Militech's tech and then
Yeah.
use that as leverage? Like,
What I
So here's the
suggest
thing.
is
We
we
can
make that deal with
go to
Militech. We put a bug in their room, and then if they don't keep their end of the
they're
word, we
gonna
put
what?
it out to their competitors.
Okay,
Because
and there is no reality where we are important enough to influence these people. I don't want to sound glib. They're not going to give a fuck about a contract. I don't have the time to pay a corporate lawyer to go through every page we're going to sign to find not a loophole. And it's
we
going to
have the
take
Eddies for
one
a good
kid
one.
saying the wrong one thing on your podcast. Because keep in mind, they're not going to send a contract where you're going to have free speech. The moment you sign on that dotted line, they're going to muzzle you and you're not going to be able to say whatever you want. So the moment somebody on your podcast said something bad about Militech, they're going to hit you with a void and they're going to come be right around the block. And they lost no assets doing it. We're still a
to be
testing
honest,
ground.
Yeah.
in my opinion, Serendipity is way scarier than Militech. They came up out of nowhere so fast and fast enough that they're able to rival Militech, who's been around way longer than they have. That's scary shit. I don't think we want to go against those guys. Not right now.
This is going to sound real. This is going to sound real jaded. If they're coming up that quick doing that much stuff, it is a small cabal of people at the top with a cult of personality that stole something from another tech. And once those people get liquidated, they're going to fall just as quick. Think about Ryzen. Think about all the other tech companies that show up, are there for a flash in the pan, get bought out. Serendipity is what, a AA rated corp?
Yep.
They're not Arasaka. They're not Militech. They're not global. They have, I'm going to do a quick library search. How many known locations?
They have, interestingly enough, they only have 3.
Do
One
we?
They have
in
3
Neo
physical
Angeles,
locations.
one in New York, and one in Europe.
Yeah. They're not, they're a mid player at best. They have Stroke right now. They have Push. Their stock is probably trading at what? 480 euros right now. It's on the rise, but it's not, they're not Militech. They're not Arasaka.
all right,
Also,
great. You got a lot of not, don't do this, don't do that. I don't care about all that. Let's talk solutions. Sure. What are we doing? We need to get these motherfuckers out of Compton.
Agreed. My solution at this point in time is we can either Serendipity or we can set it up that Serendipity and Militech are going to punch each other in the face for a while.
I
Because if we
like that idea simply because again, if we play the tech angle with Militech's property, if we play that the right way, we clear out a lot of potential nonsense. Like
From multiple, all of from multiple corporate wars and from multiple uh, uh, um, various skirmishes and extractions that corps love to punch each other in the face.
Mhm.
All right, so we make them punch each other in the face. Um,
The
That's
key to
fine.
that then
That's
is
fine.
finding out where the salamanders are going to make their drop, get evidence of them making that drop, and then have set up a meeting with Militech to give that information and be like, we had nothing to do with your giant explosion. Here's where your tech is. Leave us alone. Because they're going to devote every eddy they were going to spend. Because keep in mind, they're going to be over budget now because they blew this place up.
Yeah.
So they're going to be over budget there. They're going to need to do that. Also, we should probably, if we want to get real, this is going to sound real awful. If we want to get real sleazy, we should probably set up a meeting with Gray Horizon after that and tell Gray Horizon the Salamanders did it. Because Gray Horizon will have a separate grudge and they're going to target the Salamanders.
Yeah.
And that'll have nothing to do with those two corps, but those two organizations are going to punch each other in the face for a while.
If you can, Aunt Kay says, if you can feed them a trail to show them what we found out that the salamanders are behind this, then I think that might work.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
quick question: is the tech that they gave Hound Dog traceable to like anyone, or is it just like good generic stuff?
Um, it's
There's a
high
certain level of
quality
tech.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's high
there's
quality, but it's coming from actual like multiple companies.
so
So it
do
looks
those
like
multiple
somebody.
companies like have a? Do they have like a
A digital fingerprint.
yeah, something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And do
It
they
looks
have
like
like
what
the
they
same?
did. Yeah, go ahead.
Do they have like? Are they multiple companies under the same like shell corporation or like umbrella or something like
No,
that? Or are they like three separate people?
totally different. So it looks like they basically, it looks like they went to a high quality, multiple high quality parts warehouse, bought a little of this, bought a little of this, bought a little of this, basically put all that together and said, hey, we will give you this as payment, basically to obscure their tracks
Can I
and not
trace
leave a
those pay?
trail.
Did I give something to the warehouses? Can I trace those payments? Because if I can
You
trace those
might
payments
be
and then the goods,
you might be able to, but it's going to take you a few days because they were all such small purchases that
it'll
you'd have to
take me
sort them
going through
out
the
from
records.
all the
Yeah,
other purchases.
yeah.
So it might be doable, but it would take you a few days.
Well, it's a
That
plan
sounds
B
like
at least.
forensic accounting type shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much.
it.
Yeah.
Forensic
Yeah.
accounting type shit.
I mean,
Yep.
it's a plan B at the very least.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna need Jack and we're gonna need surveillance equipment.
I can get you.
I got you on surveillance equipment.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Surveillance equipment.
The
Yes.
van's already kitted up for it.
Yep, I did it myself.
Yeah, but we're gonna need, let's see, surveillance equipment, Jack. We're gonna need probably to figure out where the salamander's drop is gonna be, and you're gonna have to do some great driving to make sure they don't catch you tailing them.
Well, don't
here's the
insult
other
me,
thing.
Reg.
I'll work on
Here's the other
finding
thing,
where the
my,
drop
my,
is.
my nomad friend. Which one do you want to tail? You're going to have two options. You're not going to be able to be two places at once.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to tail either the asset or the tech. That's the way I'm going to stay it, because you're going to have to follow the controller or the tech. The controller is going to be a bit harder to follow because it's in the Badlands. So you're going to have to be able to follow them in a manner in the Badlands without being traced. Versus
Much trickier.
versus in-city post-explosion where things will be chaotic. But I don't know which one you want to try.
Well, working in the Badlands is kind of second nature, but this kind of op is a little different, especially given Shoot.
Yeah, I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying we have a whole lot of hurry up and wait, which is the worst way to be. And it's hurry up and wait and making sure we capture everything that needs to get captured.
Yeah.
Yep. So the question is,
The
how do you
next
want to
thing
go
we
about it?
could do, if we want to be more proactive, is Jack in the room? Or
Yeah, Jack's there.
if we got you onto Serendipity's network, which is going to be way easier than getting you on a Militech's network, hopefully, do you think you'd be able to pull records about their execs and which execs are in charge of that op? Would that be helpful to us?
I can certainly give it a try.
What do we think about that? Because I don't want to hurry up and wait. I know our favorite DJ does not want to hurry up and wait.
Not
And waiting
at
for other
all.
people to act feels like our fates are in their hands, and I don't like that shit right now.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's.
I think maybe we do the Badlands simply because when that thing goes off, if I'm understanding the bomb situation correctly, we might be of better use in terms of wrangling the chaos than anything else. If I'm thinking about where that bomb's going off, if I'm remembering correctly.
Sure.
It's going to be at their staging area.
Yep.
We need to prevent that bomb going off in the first place, if possible.
Why?
There's too many innocent people that could get hurt in that area.
No, probably from what you've been able to gather about the area where their staging area is, their staging area is in a largely abandoned part of the city. And so there's really nothing around, and they've basically kind of cordoned off, like gated off a pretty large area from the main buildings where they're staging everything. So there's really not anyone but their personnel around their staging area.
Oh, then fuck it. Let's hurry them up and make them force their timetable forward. If we can get them to start rushing, they'll make more mistakes.
Yeah, if you want to
hit a
try and tap
Serendipity
into,
node and
yep,
yeah,
there's
if we hit a
one
Serendipity
node.
node, it's going to push them.
Yeah, if there's one node
Hopefully.
that would definitely probably accelerate things.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think that's the plan. Then, if we want to make them go on our timetable and not theirs, then
Okay.
let's push.
Make them
that.
rush. Make them rush. Make them make the mistakes.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll see the
here's
salamander
the
that
thing.
killed Hakeem.
Here's the thing, there's very little possibility the salamanders know that we know what their plan is right now.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Like, for lack of a better term, we stumbled onto their plan. So the probability that they know that we know, not very high.
Yeah. If they thought
Yeah,
we
Jack
knew,
says,
we'd
yeah,
be
probably
dead by
not.
now. We'd be dead by now.
So
We
Jack
wouldn't be
says,
dead.
when do you want to go?
Now.
Well, we've got about 40 minutes in game. So do you think that's something to handle right now, Stefan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we
Does that
can.
break
We
the fourth
can.
wall?
We can. Yeah.
So I think sooner rather than later is the play.
Okay.
All right. In the meantime, I'm going to get it set up that the stuff that I know right now is going to be posted online if I die during this mission.
Okay. Alrighty. You can easily do that. So you all gather what you need to gather, and I take it you're going to head for the node then. Is there anything else anybody wanted to do before you do that?
Does anybody need some stuff?
I'm going to go get a drink.
I will take a couple rounds because we have extra ammunition and stuff. Can I get some more bullets?
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, easily.
I added the flashbangs and it was 4 flashbangs and 3 tear gas, right?
4 and 4. 4
4
of
and
each.
4. Okay.
Yep.
I have flashbangs and tear gas in my
Okay.
stuff.
Alrighty.
Be it.
I'm going to go spread some rumors of anyone that might be working in that area
Okay.
and tell them to get clear.
Okay.
And also maybe that some people might be in bed with some other people and get people talking. So maybe more people start getting a little more organized.
So I have a quick question, Stefan.
Yes.
When I had Hound Dog, like tell the other techs that we're not going to work with salamanders for a while.
Yep.
Would you like me to make that a role, or is like my
No.
reputation enough?
No, that was good enough between reputation and what they did to someone from the area,
Yeah.
yeah, you're good.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted
Yeah,
to
no,
do
you're good.
some bookkeeping on that.
I had to briefly check on something here at home. Did we agree on what the plan was? I kind of
We're gonna push the Salamander's
We're gonna hit the
timetable forward.
serendipity node to try to move their plan forward.
Yeah.
got it. Okay,
Rather than
and I'm
being
still
passive, we're gonna be more try to be active.
Yeah.
and I'm still doing Badlands, or was that part of the passive
That's your
plan?
call. That's all gonna be your call when it happens. Where
Cool.
that
All
is,
right.
you are the expert in that field. I'm gonna defer the hell to you on that craziness.
I think
Yeah.
he was asking, is he going to be joining us on the serendipity node? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
well, we're pushing. There's no reason for him not to join us now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, we
I
got
feel
like
the
less
Badlands
than-
thing is
less
happening
than
next
40
game
minutes.
section. In my brain, that's where that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
We got about
Cool.
we got like
cool.
less than 40 minutes.
All right, so you head to the node. This node, interestingly enough, when you get there and you look at the area where this node is actually in a completely. It's right next to a power substation, and that's the only thing around it. It sits kind of right at the edge of that power substation. Everything else around this particular node is warehouses. You do see as you get near, off in the distance, you can see the node and the wall around it. You do see 4 drones, like basically humanoid bipedal security drones, is what they look like. They look like uh, bipedal security drones. They're carrying what look like submachine guns, and you see 4 of those, 2 pairs of 2, kind of walking a perimeter around this node.
Are these drones with my? Because I have a lot of tech. And one of my tech checks, would I be able to like hack these drones from my arm with my scanner and stuff?
Make me
I'm very good at tech.
a. Oh gosh, let me see.
I have electronics and security tech too, if that works.
Yeah, let's do security. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool. That's gonna be fun. Ooh, that's a 10 that explodes. That's 16 plus 16, 32.
That is a really good roll. You it feels like you have control of these 4 drones.
Feels
But
like.
with that roll that you made, it also feels like it was way too easy.
I'll just say they might know we're here. That was getting those drones was way too much child's play for me. Like I don't. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Before we continue, I'd like to note that I have a bug detector in case it is needed.
Yeah. So I have these drones now, so I'm just gonna like have them just do their routine thing, but ignore us. And I'm also gonna monitor just to make sure, like, if the moment I lose control, I want to know about it.
Okay. Give me another electronic security tech roll.
All right. See if
And
we can be at 30.
what's your rank in electronic security tech?
Let me check. Electronic security check, rank 4, but I have plus
Okay.
16 to the roll.
Okay, give me another roll there.
Okay. 9 plus 16, 25.
Okay. You have the drones start walking that perimeter. But you gain a sense that there's like another presence in the system.
Like a net runner or another hacker like me.
It's elusive, maybe another net runner.
It's not Jack. I know Jack's signature.
Yep, not Jack.
I'd say we got a net runner here. Someone's in the system. I can feel it.
Do we at that notice? Do we like? What's about the size of this building?
Not that big at all. Probably maybe you would figure 2,000 square feet.
I'm good. I'm gonna show
You know
the
they're
signature.
probably going to be on site because they're not going to. They're at the node because you can't really wirelessly do that right now because the internet sucks.
I'm gonna show Jack the signature and see if Jack knows like this calling card.
Yeah.
Does Jack know this calling card?
Let's see. He looks and he says, he's like, there's something really, really weird going on here. He says this, it looks like an old school distributed network. He's all, this has the hallmarks of something that shouldn't be possible anymore, at least not here. He's all, this is the hallmarks of an AI.
That's not good. Oh, I see now. Yeah. Correction, we have an AI.
That feels awful. That also explains a lot.
And Iverson? What's he doing here?
Who?
Allen Iverson, basketball player.
AI. Yeah,
Please
that was great.
stop making these old people references, Darius. I gotta tell you.
Oh, again, but I do what I want.
Basketball.
Learn your history, okay?
Basketball anymore.
Wait, y'all don't play basketball?
Oh, it's a thing of the past.
Well, the air kind of sucks, so I get it.
That's for old people and other old people.
Basketball is for old. Oh my god! Do I even want to say
play basketball in like 2-3 decades, man? I don't even know. Ever since the smog got so deep, you can't breathe outside, and it's not like anybody can afford an inside basketball rink. What is it? Rink? Is it a basketball rink?
Gym. And I only know this because in our rebuilding of some of the older cities, we definitely rebuilt the gym when I was a kid. It was fun.
There you go.
All I'm saying is, if they didn't already replace my heart, it would have gone out already. Jesus Christ!
That's
Rink.
some of that archaic tech.
Hey, look,
Basketball rink.
I think the real reason basketball went the way of the dinosaurs is because everybody's got too much chrome to not break a rim.
I mean,
You try running up and down a court with half a
Everyone
ton
always
of-
breaks the rim all of the time.
There's no longer a rim anymore.
There are no rims. There is only
The only way you can actually play the game is with medicine balls.
Yo.
You got a 30-pound ready.
Yeah. Shaq made it the whole league upgrade to fiberglass, and he was human. So
Just picturing someone play basketball with a medicine ball is terrifying.
It's like Doomfist from
Cracks in the
Overwatch just
ground.
dunking it. Like,
Jamie, make me another electronic security tech roll.
All right, plus 16. That's a 7 plus 16. 22.
So as you are all kind of wrestling with this revelation about an AI, you get a bit of feedback starts to come over the communicators that you all have. It's very, very faint and very,
just
very
mine or
subtle.
is it everyone's?
Everyone's.
Okay.
Oh no.
I checked my bug detector. Did it go off?
It seems to be going haywire.
We're being
Oh,
hacked
boy.
by AI.
Mac, what do you got? You know what's going on here?
The AI is probably going to try to talk to us somehow.
Well, that
Yeah,
seems terrifying.
emphasis. Define talk.
Either it's got like a voice that it uses, or it's going to type something out, or it's going to do in binary, which I can speak binary.
I thought you'd speak non-binary,
Right, well,
Mac.
this is about to be.
That's true, I do, but thank you for the joke. That was a great one.
You
That
get
was-
the
that was
sense
perfect.
that it's maybe not talking yet, but it's definitely listening.
Yeah, it's listening into our conversation right now. Do you want me to try and cut it off, or do we want to just keep going and let it listen?
I think we make more basketball references and see if we can confuse it into submission.
Alexa, play "Fuck the Police."
Back in my day, there was this guy named Braun, and one time he played a game against an anthropomorphic bunny, and I
That's
don't really
Back in
remember
the
what
day was
happened.
weird. I don't anthropomorphic bunny. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
and a duck.
And a duck.
This is
So
probably,
what was basketball like again? I clearly had a very wrong understanding. I didn't realize it was an interspecies game.
so this is probably a stupid idea, but can I take control of the AI?
Oh.
This is probably a stupid idea, but
Um,
we got like
You-
26 minutes.
you
Or at least like
you get the sense
it
that
to be on our side, like not necessarily control it, but like change something around that like likes us more.
you get the sense that you could try, but that it would be a nigh impossible task.
I mean, we could just ask it its name and start a conversation. That's a thing we could do.
I'm just gonna say, hello, how are you?
As you're all talking, let me see who gets this. It's gonna be
We're gonna get a shot.
It's gonna be May.
actually
And I'm the old head. Okay.
your med tech is a beep coming from your medical equipment.
Oh boy.
Kind of a beep, beep, beep.
Trying to communicate via the medical equipment. It looks like that was a good one.
Is it something else? Because you said it's beep.
It's coming from your med scanner.
It's alive.
I will take a look and send it to my overlay from my neural link and see what's going on there.
You see what comes up actually is at first you're like, what is this? It's like you're like, this looks like some kind of like weird archaic arc or weird archaic tech. And you see like these highly on the screen or on your overlay, you see these highly pixelated images of what kind of look like people, and like a little title card comes up and it says NBA Live 95.
Nice.
Sweet. I'm like, all right, neat. Is this what basketball was really like? Has what's because I don't see any bunnies. Um,
I mean, this was pre-bunny basketball.
Was it though?
I'm beginning to
was,
think
though.
that this AI knows more about basketball than you do right now. I'm beginning to believe that.
Guys, we got focus. We have to do this node thing. This is Max
Hey,
character.
but I know a challenge when I see one.
I don't necessarily think the focus situation. I believe the AI is trying to communicate with us about basketball. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the thing
If-
and ask, how do I address you? So I'm gonna
Okay.
be very polite and ask how basically how do I communicate, like how do I address this AI?
You hear a crackling coming through your comm, and a voice kind of comes through, and that voice at first, when it very first comes through, it sounds very kind of machine like, very kind of synthesized, but by the time it's about um, a couple of syllables in, it changes to a very smooth and human sounding voice.
Mhm.
And it says, "Hello, I am Serendipity. Let's have a conversation." And that is where I'm going to leave you all until
Yeah.
next time.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So that means the idea I had earlier. Oh, okay. I should have said it then, but now I know what I want to do with this whole situation.
I
Kill
say
the
this is
AI.
all very
because
serendipitous.
as Reggie, or well, I guess we're over the table now. So I guess as Paul was saying about having these corps punch each other out. Well, if one of the corps is new and out of nowhere, it's a small time player. I'm thinking it's a Godzilla situation, but we're picking a side. Like it's
Right,
very
we
much
can pick a side.
Serizawa let them fight, but I'm picking the AI.
So there you have our first session, which we will wrap up next week. Everyone who was watching, thank you so very much for joining us. Thank you for supporting this cause that we are trying to raise money for Black Girls Rock. Thank you so much to Transplanar RPG. I'm going to go around the table again real quick, have everybody tell us who you are, maybe a little bit about what you're doing to wrap this whole thing up. So, X, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, hello everybody. I am Xtel. You can find me at Xtro the King on all the socials. I am here playing this game. It's a great time. So I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I didn't expect to go first here. But, thank you all for coming by and watching. This is a great time for a great cause and for a great month, So thank you all for coming by and checking out and watching this. Again, you can find me at Extra the King on all the socials. I'm the social media manager for Tales from the Table Studios. We play a lot of games over there. And to not take up too much time, you can just follow me on socials and see what else I'm going up to. Some fun stuff coming up. So it's a good time.
Very nice. All right. Paul, let's go with you.
Hey everybody, I'm Paul. You can usually find me here on Apochromatic every Thursday playing some video games with Ashton and Leona, as well as doing stuff over here. I'm one of the admin members here at Apochromatic. You can also find me on HSC playing pretty regularly, or other places that tap me to usually be their angry black, not very nice person on their streams, because I don't like to be nice to white people.
Very nice to me.
I'm nice to people. I'm just not nice to people when they act a fool. I have a story I can tell later. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. There's lots of things. But I am not on much social media as it's all starting to close down because I'm old, and if I don't have to be there, I'm not going to be there. Not going to lie. I'm embracing my post 40s and not having to be places that I don't need to be.
Post
Outside
40s.
of
Man,
that,
you don't look it.
yeah, 42. Meaning of life, universe, and everything. If you're being a super nerd that loves their Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
But yes. Let's see. You can catch me where you can catch me. Usually, if you need me for anything, there are fine ways to get in contact with me. This was a lot of fun. I'm a bit unnerved just because almost every single like Cyberpunk game I played the past 3 years has all dealt with AI by the end of it, and I'm like, guys, I love AI, but AI in Cyberpunk is terrifying. They're not nice.
No,
They
they're
are
not.
much like NHPs and Lancer. They're not nice.
Not nice.
Like, so we'll see how this plays out. If we all like, my money now is that the AI is looking for a body. That's what I'm gonna go with, and that's what I'm gonna call. But we'll leave it from there.
Cool, great. Slay.
Hi, I'm Slay. You can find me on Blue Sky at Sons of Warvan, then the Blue Sky stuff. And you can find me on Twitter as long as it's like, I just want to see it burn. Also on Sons of Warvan. You can also find me on, after next week, you can find me on Saturdays on the Rune and Relic channel. I'm a producer and writer over there. And we're doing Star Trek at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So our final season of this campaign is starting. So
Nice.
it's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Fall.
Hey, I'm Nick Butler. Follow my blade. That's where you can find me. I was playing Darius Rivers tonight, and you catch me next week doing the same thing. Maybe I get to beat an AI at NBA Jam. We'll find out.
Nice. Pablo, what do you got?
Hey guys, I was playing Slick Will, the Nomad. I'm I'm still on socials. I'm kind of going through like a gradual name change on a lot of things. So if you look for me on TikTok, it's still T'Challa Fett. That was my handle on Twitter and a lot of other different socials for a long time. However, over on Blue Sky, it's Saint Pablo. Just fair warning, I tweet from the hip. I'm not currently affiliated with anybody, so I'm working on that. Though I'm working on self filtration and whatnot. But outside of all of that, I before COVID, I did a lot more like actual plays and podcasts and whatnot. So I'd like to get back into that. Did some tabletop writing in the last couple of years, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you want to follow me on socials, it's Saint Pablo at on dot Blue Sky, or T'Challa Fett on TikTok. Those are like the main ones I'm on. Yeah, that's it. Catch y'all next week.
Nice. And I am Stefan, also Umbral Knight X over on the Blue Skies. I'm still one of the few people that's kind of holding the line back on Twitter because I'm an educator and I'm hard headed. And I know there's a lot of people there that can't be educated, but I know there's a few who might be educated. So I'm still trying. It might be a losing battle, but hey, there I am fighting it. Then you can find me tomorrow. I will be in the Wonder Home game. That's going to be at 12:30 Pacific time. That's going to be a very interesting little run. Come over there and see. I'm going to be playing alongside Honey and Dice and Trooper SJP. We got some interesting little backstories. So come check that out if you can tomorrow. And then I'll be running this again next week. And then later on in the month, keep your eyes peeled. I put together a group of people doing a panel because the theme for all of this that we're doing between all of these channels is punk. And I had a conversation with some wonderful people that's going to be coming up. I believe it's on the 15th of February, about halfway through this thing, on Black people in punk spaces, and having a conversation about that, what that means, and how we have and haven't been in those spaces and dealt with those spaces. Those of us who have like punk and like those various spaces, and we talk about it from several different angles. So come check that out. And please check out all the other amazing games and panels that people are doing on all of these channels for Black History Month, because there are forces out there right now that are trying to eradicate Black History Month. Already, they gave us the shortest month of the year, and now there are people who just want to get rid of it, as if every month wasn't already White History Month. They want to take this from us, right? But yeah, please give if you can. If not, at least show up and support all of the shows and everything that are out there. And again, we cannot thank Transplanar RPG, which if you haven't watched Transplanar over there, shame on you. You need to go do that. Thank you for your support, Transplanar. Yeah, and that's all we have. We will see you all next week. Thank you so much for coming out. And everybody take care of yourselves.